Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for yet another game of Super Rugby Pacific, the second game of the Saturday. This one, Moana Pasifika taking on the Brumbies at Mount Smart Stadium. An important game for Moana Pasifika, but even more important for the Brumbies. If they end up winning this game, they will secure themselves the home final. If not, then they have to wait just a little bit longer to find out whether or not they will be the side with their home final. But nonetheless, we will look straight away through at the lineup for Moana Pasifika. Abraham Polly, Rain Nuia, and then Sakopi Kepu as the front row. Then alongside them, Michael Curry and Samuel Slade as 4-5. Solomoni Funaki, Alamanda Matanga, and then Henry Stowers there at number 8. Then it will be Jonathan Tamatine at 9. Christian Liliafano at 10. And that man has got a huge amount of experience. We'll know a few of these Brumbies players pretty well, I would think. Danny Tawala, Levi Amua, Tamofi Tavatavanawai, then Solomoni Kata and William Harveli. That is the back three for Moana Pasifika. Then looking through now at the Brumbies, the away side, we have also got there Samuel and Jack in the chat. Welcome in, guys. Hope you are doing well. Scott Seo there at number 1, Conor McHenry, and then Alan Alaratoa there at number 3. Then from there it is Darcy Swain, Nick Frost. Alongside them, Tom Hooper, Pete Samu, and Jerome Brown. Then Nick White at 9, Noel Alessio at 10, Irasamoni, Lena Cattell, Andy Muirhead, Tom Wright, and Tom Banks. And hi, says Chad. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Currently looking through Lachlan Lonergan. He will be the man to watch out for off the bench in the later stages of this game, alongside James Slipper and Sasefo Kaltai as the front row for the Brumbies. Also, Ryan Lonergan is there in the back line. Then for Moana Pasifika, they've got Sione Tuipulotu, also Sam Molly, 2 players that did get signed for the Tongan side for their upcoming matches of the Pacific Nations Cup. So we'll be exciting to see those guys in action. Also, hello, Brumbies by 13 plus. Says John there for the prediction of this one. It's going to be a tricky one to predict, I have a feeling, because Moana Pasifika, like they're saying, they have got a 3-game week once again now. But the big thing is, at the end of the day, this is their last game. They don't get to play in the playoffs. This is his 150th game, Sakopi Kepu. So he will be trying to put it absolutely on the line for this last game. Come on, the Brumbies, says Rithik there. So the way that it sits currently, if the Brumbies win, they will move themselves up to 3. And that will mean that they do have themselves a home final or home quarterfinal next week. Hey, I'm Shay Petty. And there says Johnny Longstrong, welcome in, mate. And also Xavier and has said hello, welcome in. And also Warriors lost 16 to 24. I did see that up against the Knights. Unfortunately, they weren't quite able to get the job done. The top 4 teams are locked in, but 3rd and 4th will be determined then or when this game ends, says Novmum there. So the way that the table is currently sitting, we will go like this. Although there is just a little bit of, I guess, nervousness for the Brumbies of whether or not they are going to get themselves the 3rd team, or I guess you call it the 6th team or the 5th team. It's going to be one of these 2, in fact, that's going to be playing one of these 2. So it's pretty much the case of what we see Australia versus Australia or New Zealand versus New Zealand for the next stage. Should be very interesting. And also I bet on the Knights, says John. And also we have got there, of course, the Warriors lost. And also, hello, Johnny, says Paddy Wagon, and also Brumbies by or win 13-3, says Chad there on the prediction. But now there is a huddle for Moana Pasifika. They will be determined to try and finish their season on a high. And it looks like they are actually going to be performing a haka against the Brumbies. Okay, there was a massive chahu from someone. I'm not too sure who that was, but it was one of the Moana Pasifika players. They are doing Mana Moana Alamai. And also, who loves Australia, says Xavier there. And also, we have got there as Mata Usia La Horse, still injured, or on the bench night for Moana, says Nazi Williams. One moment, I will have a look. So, for this matchup, they have got Finney Anisi, if that is who it is, but probably not for that one. And also, Tuatavuki they have got, but Sakopi Kepu, he will get to lead this haka for Moana Pasifika. This is going to be a moment he remembers. It seems like his career in Super Rugby is going to continue being extended, because at the end of the day, it seems like there's more than likely that he will get to have himself another opportunity next year, maybe for them or maybe for the Warriors. Or not the Warriors, sorry, the Waratahs. I do see the players around who aren't actually playing in this match. They are still there doing the haka with Sakopi Kepu. I see there Linka McClutchy, Eritara, Henry Tima Whainanoku, sorry. Henry Time Stowers going to be playing in this match, and he's looking dangerous. Cheers, brother. Cheers, Nazi Williams. There, and also we've got there, loves my home country, Malta. Aussie versus Samoa, says Brent for this one. So it's going to be exciting, but also a few Tongan players scattered throughout there. 13 of the Moana Pasifika side were selected for Tonga international status, which is pretty awesome. And we will get to see those matches take place in the early stages of July. That is going to be the challenge laid down by Moana Pasifika. Someone let off the fireworks about 2 seconds too late, but we won't hold it against them. Now, the Brumbies, they will be fired up. Hey, Kiwi lads, hope Moana Pasifika play like Fiji and Drua, and this could be really great. Says Kiwi John there. Yeah, I'm excited. See who does end up getting the better of this. That's the thing, Moana Pasifika, $9 underdogs on the odd side of things. But one thing that they've got is certainly that heart of the Pacific Islands. Nick White not looking phased at all. Ryan Lonergan next to him, though, looked a little bit more wide-eyed than Nick White there. But now, like they're saying, the last outing of the season, this is one that the Moana Pasifika fans will remember, which is why they want to make sure that they have a good performance. It's going to be Mike Fraser in charge of this one, James Dolman, then also it is John O'Brien and Aaron Patterson as the referees for this game. But nonetheless, we are ready to go for this matchup. The second one is Super Rugby Pacific for Saturday. We've got 2 more games later on tonight. The Blues taking on the Waratahs, and then the Western Force taking on the Hurricanes with a Champions Cup final between Leinster and La Rochelle coming up later on tonight as well. And also get the Malta in the chat from Xavier, but now we are ready to go. Nick White will be kicking off this game. And like they're saying, it is currently a few parts of the puzzle that they do have to put together. And one of them is this one. And come on, the Brumbies, says Chad there. But now it will be Scott Seo, I think, who's starting this game, isn't it? At number 1? Yeah, it is. So him, Alan Alatoa, those do have a huge amount of experience between them at scrum time. But then you've got Sakopi Kepu and the youngster Abraham Polly, ex-Crusaders player. Brumbies could win 2 times in New Zealand. And the Chiefs lost to the Brumbies, says Brent. So, yeah, there's a good chance that they will be able to get themselves a win. And if they didn't for this game, you'd have to say that something has gone wrong for the Brumbies, as they are heavy favourites. And with the lineup they've gone with, they'd love to be able to get themselves a win. And also we have got there who loves, I have no idea who that is, Xavier, to be honest. But I noticed you aren't on your other account. So is that because the other account did get timed out a while ago? Or is that just, I guess, which one you decided to go on? Currently, Moana Pasifika making the mistake early on. And because of it, it does mean now that the Brumbies will have themselves the scrum feed. At the moment, I'm going to check to see whether or not the odds are going to change at all anymore. No, it's still around the same. Somewhere around that $9 mark, even with their mistakes. So Moana Pasifika, as soon as they go above $10, that's when it's probably a little bit of trouble for them. Brumbies are my team, says Chad. So you will be hoping they get themselves a big win here, finish in 3rd, and then more than likely take on the Waratahs. But we'll have to wait and see. Come on, Moana. I hope you'll add your natural steroid boost before the games. And also the Taro and tin corned beef. And I'm like half asleep here, says Paddy Wagon. Currently now passing it back across on the 22 for the Brumbies and continuing to drive forward. About 22 metres out. Lenikatau tries to spin out of the tackle. Nice work. And the breakdown from Alamanda Matanga. And he wins the early penalty for Moana Pasifika, I should say. They've played 3 games in 7 days at the moment. And who do you have to win in the Blues versus Waratahs CSX? I see that the Blues, they are actually underdogs for that match. Or they were last time that I checked anyway. I'll have another look. But for me, it's a tricky one because the Blues have made many changes. And I'm thinking back to what happened for the Chiefs versus Blues when they did well and truly end up, I guess, the Chiefs bottled that game because they had too many changes. And then their game in the final, it did go wrong. So I'm wondering whether or not there will be a repeat of what we see here. But more than likely, I think Waratahs could take that, to be fair. They're a good side, the Waratahs. And they have gone with one of their stronger lineups rather than resting players. They've decided they might as well throw, I guess, caution to the wind. But now Levi Amoa in the midfield. I'm sad, says Xavier. There's Owen Oswego there. Isn't it near the top, or isn't it a near top task side? CCX it is. Which is why it's kind of surprising that they're only $1.50 underdogs for that matchup. But it's going to be another Brumbies scrum against Moana Pasifika. A couple early mistakes seems like it has taken place here for them. And also we have got the Hi, says Amelia, welcome in, and $1.04. Brumbies from the TAB, and Fiji have so much heart, says Max, and also Brumbies are going to win, says Chad there. So I guess do let me know your predictions, ladies and gentlemen, for how it is going to be sitting at the end of this game. Do the Brumbies win comfortably, or do we see Moana Pasifika put up a fight similar to what we saw from the Fijian draw in their game up against the Chiefs? That one went down to the wire. And is there any backs that started against the Brumbies, starting against the Tars, says Hex. So I believe that is the Blues. One moment. I think I've still got that lineup. Or maybe I don't. One moment. Who I got? Round 14. Is this the Blues? No. Sadly, it's not. Is that? No. Okay, I don't have the Blues one, but I'll get the Blues one up for the next game that they have got coming up in a very short moment. So we can kind of see who sits where. But I don't believe, other than maybe Zahn, but maybe not Zahn Sullivan. I don't even think he started, did he? I think he came off the bench instead for it. But this is the lineup that the Blues have gone with. So, yeah, Jock McKenzie different, Corey Evans different, Tamaiti Tua different, Ratumaitavuki Nepkins different, Zahn Sullivan coming off the bench in the last match. Sam Knock, I think, came off the bench as well. And then AJ Lamb is going to be the starting number 11. And even looking through, like that kind of, I guess you could say, the forward pack, you've got quite a few changes. And also what you cook. And then also a bit late because I had to finish cooking my dinner. And also, so she lied to me. My best friend told, that's a girl told me she doesn't have a BF, but she does have a BF in there as well. That's a tricky situation, isn't it? And now Christian Liliafano kicks it back downfield. And it does go into touch on the halfway line. Very nice kick. So an entire new back line this week. Damn. In the SSX. And the thing is, I'm actually going to bring that lineup back up for a second, because it's not just like James Lay, he's different from last week, I think. Ricky Riccatelli, different. Nepo Lulala might be the same, kind of, but I think he came off the bench. Luke Romano didn't play last week. Josh Goodhue, I want to say did, but I think it might have been Sam Derry. Then Anton Segner, he did start last week, so they got that one. Sorry, that was quite a happy clap, wasn't it? I'm excited because I know that we've got a big game coming up soon. And also this one, feel like it's just starting to heat up as the players start to put together a few more phases. And Banks loves not finding touch, says the Task 15. And yeah, unfortunately, he's got pretty good at it recently, sadly. And also Anton Demand says Nutty Williams. And also, that sounds good. We're having roast chicken for dinner, says Patty. And also Blues rest in the 18 for the finals. The boys in blue will be a force to reckon with in the next couple of weeks, says Johnny Long and Strong. And also Potato Gems with a chicken schnitzel burger. And Leinster versus La Rochelle, says Johnny Long and Strong. And yeah, we're going to be covering that one on the channel as well. So are you up at that stage, Johnny? Do let me know. It is going to be about a 3:45 a.m. kickoff, I think it is. I have 10 for the Tars against my Blues, says Hex there. But that one has gone out. And it seems like there's quite a bit of nerves at the moment between the two sides. A lot of handling errors, a lot of little mistakes. But I think after 10 minutes or so, both sides will really start to get settled into their craft. Taken nicely by Michael Curry there on the halfway line. And now trying to roll, but it's not really. It's just literally a maul. Now it's starting to march forward. And always get hungry on here, reading Peeps Foods, says Nazi Williams. And as that ball, it's going to become a Brumbies scrum. That is about the 4th or 5th scrum we've had in the first 6 minutes of this game. So hopefully that slows down, because or else then that will use up a majority of the first half, we'll be thinking. But yeah, 3 more games happening tonight. Food with the 10 out of 10, says Sebastian. And I have to say, Sebastian, Miami Heat, you nailed it. Nailed the prediction there. And at the end of the day, like anyone who listened to you in New Zealand would have made like $4 per dollar. I had 10 cents in my account, so I couldn't listen. But that one, welcome to my live, says Betty Wagon. I was over with their Blues to win tonight. And also the legend himself. Here's Betty Wagon there as well. But yeah, very nice win by the Miami Heat. I believe by 8, wasn't it? Something along those lines. And Johnny Sexton versus O'Gara. Will the old fella get one, or will the old fella get one up over the other old fella, says Johnny Long and Strong. And yeah, a few Kiwis scattered throughout those lineups as well, which is good to see. I guess it depends on whether or not, is James Lowe playing? I haven't actually seen the lineup as of yet for Leinster, because I know that they're normally a little bit later announcing it. In fact, I'm going to have a look now. See what we find out, because that ball has once again gone out, but it is going to be now another penalty. And this match, I believe the Blues will take on the Landers after round 14 playoffs. And then Sebastian got the munchies, bruv. And there says Johnny Long is strong. Now Tom Banks, can he find touch this time? Had a cereal for dinner. Sultana brand and a banana with blue top milk, of course. Says John there. Sorry, I really struggled to read that, didn't I? The words just wouldn't quite roll off me tongue the way that I needed them to. But yeah, the Champions Cup final, Leinster versus La Rochelle. I'm hoping they've announced their sides. Yes, they have. Right, who we got? Have we got a Victor Vito? We do not have a Victor Vito in the starting lineup, but they have got Ehire West. James Lowe is playing, which is good to see that he isn't injured. I am sad that I don't see a Victor Vito there or a Tavita Kurbalo. And thanks, although the prediction ain't complete just yet. I see Warriors versus Heat in the finals, so they have to win the next one as well. That's true, although you'd think with the momentum, maybe they would be now favourites. That's a brilliant run from Levi Amua. Flicks it on the outside to William Arvilli, and he is dragged down by Andy Muirhead. Now this looks like the first real attacking opportunity. Oh, no, he's juggled it. No, he's hung on to it. He's done very well. Had a bit of a juggle, but found his way in the end. Now it's stolen in the breakdown by the Brumbies, Scott Seo. Now slinging it out into the hands of Len Ikatel. Kicks it in behind. Waiting for this one. Tom Banks is on it, but it's taken nicely by William Harvilli, who then drops the head. Out you go. It's a comment from the referee and also Victor Vito. And there, as I said, Johnny Longstrong. I picked Miami Jimmy Buckets Butler. He went off. Says John, I have no idea who that is, but I guess if you're called Jimmy Buckets, you're probably pretty decent at shooting not just the twos, but also you must get a few threes in your time as well. And also Brumbies are the best. Says Chad there, and they have got themselves the home final, which is going to be exciting. And it's just a case of who will they be playing up against. But it was a good counter ruck from Scott Seo, just going straight over the top of Rainuia, who wasn't really expecting that heavy contact. And what's your favourite team? Pick one in a rugby league. Would you support? Oh, rugby league's a tricky one. If we're going union, I'd say, I should say the All Blacks, but I don't know if they are my complete favourite. I do have quite a few sides that I love to follow, I should say. In NRL, though, maybe the Roosters, but maybe not at the same time. I do quite like James Tedesco, but it's whether or not his influence is enough to make me like a whole side. They've got a couple other good players, though. And I say, how do the Warriors do? They lost, unfortunately, again. 16 points to 24, I believe it was. Now Andy Muirhead. Space on the... Wow, that's a big shot from Sekope Kepu. They may have to check that one, see how high it was. And defends Brumbies. He supports the Warrington Wolves. Come on the wire. Come on the wire? That sounds like something you would not want to do near an electric fence, to be honest. But are they they're the ones in the England, aren't they? In the old England, that one. Now William Arvilli kicks it for touch. And that one's gone out and bye-bye Nathan Brown. And there as well says Nazi Williams. And now William Arvilli has managed to clear it. The Brumbies are really putting on pressure in the early stages of this game. Oh, yeah, nah. Sekope Kepu might have got around the neck, and I think they are going to be checking this one. And Hamish Pro says Johnny Long and strong, and also that's an easy answer always. And there's us says Petty Wagons. And also the wire is the Wolves fan base. That's how they call themselves. Ah, I see. Right, Sekope Kepu in his 150th match might get himself in a little bit of trouble here. On goal 11, is Sekope going to be spending the next 10 minutes of its 150th match in the bin? We haven't had a yellow card yet today, although we've only had one game. And Max Scott will just say they lost, you get it right 90% of the time. And there's Paddy Wagon. Oh, I think that's a yellow, to be honest. He was low. That's direct contact on the chin. This might even be a red. And as we have got there, Miami in the Celtics game 7 in Miami, but I'm going to take the Celtics, especially if they underdogs, and they will be game 7. Then shut down Jimmy Butler, then boss win. And there as well says John, for me, it's a yellow or a red here for Sekope Kepu. I don't think it's anything less than that. Right, so they're checking the head contact. Was it head contact? Was it foul play? Yes. Was it degree of danger? I think so. He did raise up, and mitigation, there's not really a lot. He goes up high tackle, says Chad. I think this is going to be maybe a rare card for Sekope Kepu because he's not really dipping a huge amount. And Sekope Kepu, I think he might be going off for maybe more than the 10. There was speed on it, Bit of force there, isn't it? Was the comment from the referee. It's a red card for Sekope Kepu in his 150th match, 10 minutes in. And now the Brumbies are going to have a man advantage for the next 10 minutes. So that's not good. That's probably the last thing they want. Jimmy Butler will score 36 points. Jason Tatum, 31. Feel free to bet your rent money on it. Says Sebastian. Well, maybe I will. I'll put 5 cents on each, seeing as I got 10 cents in my account. It's quite sad saying I got 10 cents in my account, but the reason I got 10 cents in there is so that I'm able to watch things. The referee says it has to be a red card. It's a Sekope Kepu. He's disappointed, no score yet. Boring. Although we just had a red card, which I guess will cause a little bit of excitement for a few people. Unfortunately, Sekope Kepu, he's gone for the night. And nice, says Chad. So yeah, I guess Brumbies supporters, they will be enjoying that one. Tom Wright gives him a pat on the back and says, sorry about that, mate. And now he gets a handshake from Tom Banks. They're all congratulating him for playing the 150th, but now he has to go off the field for the rest of the games. But 20 minutes after, he will be able to have his replacement, and that is Joe Apakatoa. And Tatum gets player of the match. Jimmy Butler gets shut down. Says John. I don't know who these guys are, but I assume they're quite tall. More than likely, you know. Some 2-meter Peters around. Maybe. Maybe I should watch that game. When is that game taking place, Sebastian? Maybe I need to learn me some NBA. Although, actually, saying that, I think the game is taking place actually very soon, isn't it? Like in 1 or 2 days' time. So it might be a bit tricky. But now, starting to get the rolling ball going once again here for the Brumbies. They are inside of the 22, and they've got the advantage now. Nick White passes it back across Leonard Katau. Now Noah Lolesio out to Andy Muirhead. Finds the offload now to Tom Banks. Try and go around the outside. Isn't able to do so. Now Nick White goes back a red card. And as I says, Chad, it's going to be another penalty advantage against Moana Pasifika. They need to be extremely careful here. Whoa, someone had their strobe light out. And all of a sudden turned blue and then red and then blue. And Butler is 201. Tatum is 2.03. There we go. Knew they'd have some size to them. That's tall, isn't it? That's like an extra... Like, the thing is, you think of it, and it's like, okay, that's an extra, like, 25 centimeters than me or somewhere around there. But, like, it doesn't sound like that much. But then you think about it, and that's quite a bit, isn't it? And do you like blues music? Says Spider-Meg. I have heard a little bit of blues in my time because we did actually, during music at school, we kind of studied all of the different genres. So we did a bit of blues, but that kind of southern, that kind of thing, you know, bit of that. We actually played a blues song for a performance as well. And Isaac's quite a crafty fellow on the guitar. He can do all sorts. And it also scores. I says, Chad, also we got the 29th of May, game 7, 28th of May in the USA. So, yeah, that's actually only about 24 hours away. But now the line-out drive here for the Brumbies. Waiting for it at the back. They have been told that that's their first stoppage. Now getting close, and it's going to be close, and it's very close, and it's a try. And McInerney, as they said him, but Connor McInerney, McInerney, I think I call him. I get it wrong, but that's all right. I think he has been able to get the try. Yes, he has. McInerney does manage to pick up the try. I don't know what's happening with the coverage. Every once in a while, the players end up blue. Have you guys noticed that on your ends as well? But nicely done. And now we're going to try and spell one of the harder last names around. We have got McInerney. There we go. And he has been able to score it in the 12th minute, and that could be the first of many perhaps in the near future. And also we go there. Well, listen to, I'll play the blues for you. And there says Spider-Meg, and also we have got there Real Madrid or Liverpool. Says Max, that's a tricky one. I think Liverpool are favourites. But saying that, like, that's the thing. Like, favourites are just favourites till the game really starts, and then all of a sudden it can all change. $1.50 New South Wales. There's $2.50 of the Blues. Why is that Blues? Excellent team. $2.50 outstanding money, pretty much because they've got 2 players in their starting lineup that were in the starting lineup last week. Everyone else is different. So I think that is why they've decided to be such underdogs. It's being very weird at the moment, the coverage. We keep on seeing blue. And I don't know whether or not it is just me, or can you guys see Noah Alessio turning into a Smurf as well? Or is that just me? And now about to kick this one, Noah Alessio. He does get it as well. So now the score is 7-0. And also at 6 foot tall, which is above the average, you still look like their baby nephew next to them, says Sebastian there. And also we get that chat to said yes. And there as well. Yeah, a bit of, yeah, I can see it says no mum. Yeah, so a bit of weird Smurfness going on at the moment. I feel like if you freeze at the right time, any one of those players can become a Smurf out there. But now it's going to be kicked off. And in fact, now it's going to be the line out for Moana Pasifika as well. That ball has been put into touch by the Brumbies. Okay, I think the coverage has gone back to normal, which is good. I tried skipping forward a little bit, see if that would fix it. And also, what's your high, Hamish? I believe I am 1.78 meters. Oh, actually, the thing is, though, I think I'm still growing, which I know sounds very weird to say because normally you do all your growing in your teens and then like maybe early 20s, but I think I've grown like 2 centimeters in the past like couple months. So I'm probably closer to 179 or 180 at the moment now. That one's going to be sitting up Tom Wright. Bit of a mistake there. Having to jump back on that ball. Still 15 minutes left of that red card. And also 50-10, some blues. And there as well says Spider Meg, but currently Moana Pasifika only a few meters out from the line here. And they are looking to fire straight back now. Short side, Henry Teammate Stowers. Not able to spin out of that one. And with a man disadvantage, if they can get this one right, Moana Pasifika, it would be absolutely huge for them. I'm 7'8". And there as well says Max. So I guess you've got custom doorways or a very sore neck. Now it's going to be another penalty. Well, then around this side here. Getting closer and closer, Moana Pasifika. If they fire back a try now, they've got another advantage. Still only 5 meters out. That ball's going to be stolen, and it will be going back for the penalty there. And my 12-year-old son is about 5 centimeters shorter than me. And it's been already bigger than mine, says Nov Mum, and also go Brew. And there as well, says Chad, it looked like for a second Solomoni Kata wanted to go for the quick tap and go, and he might even do just that. Yes, he does. Oh, Novus. He's just done that. And unfortunately, up against his old side, he's taken the quick tap, but then he has ended up dropping the ball, and he's utterly disappointed. Well, Solomoni Kata as it now gives the ball back to the Brumbies. I'm joking, Hamish. I'm not 7'8". No. No, I assume such a thing. Probably like, that's the thing. 7'8" is huge. Like even 7 foot is huge. So 7'8" puts you at like 2 meters 15, maybe even more than that. And also we've got the AL Hamish, or AL hope everyone had a good week. This is Des led up to lose next game. Says Des are there. I hope you are excited for that one. Of course, we are going to get to see pretty much a whole new Blues lineup in that game, so it will be interesting. See how it ends up going. But Alan Alatoa looks like he's got a bit of a cut on the eyeball, or next to the eye at the moment, which will not be too comfortable for that man, but he will be excited for the Australian season coming up. I've said excited way too much today, but I feel like it's the perfect way of describing how I'm feeling, which is very, very excited. Joe Apakatoa now has to come onto the field, and I believe they've had to make another sub due to that red card of Sakopi Kipu in the early stages. And hey, Hamish says, Tesla, welcome in, mate. And also, hey, says Paddy there. But Solomon Ikata, unfortunately for him, the timing's bad, but he's going off the field now due to that scrum. And also, hi, Tesla, I hope you're well. Says Sebastian, and also his role plan. Says Max, if we're talking Rob Valentini, he is not at this point in time. So I'm not sure whether or not he will be back for the next stage. But if he's not, I guess they've got to really work out what they want to do in that loose forward chair. At the moment, Tom Hooper, it seems to be not a terrible option. And then Jerome Brown. And also they have still got Pete Samu at number 8, who's a big boy. And they are just showing him now on the screen. Pete Samu, we have got their Brumbies have a good lineup, says Chad. They certainly do. They've got a lot of potential. And for me, whoever they come up against in their quarterfinal, whether that is going to be the Hurricanes or the Waratahs, you'd have to say that they would almost be favourites going into that match with the GIO Stadium home crowd advantage. And also, I married a lady 6'4". We have finished now. I'm 5'7". We had our son 2 meters tall, says Brent. And there is, okay. So I guess he got his mother's height, that one. And also the tallest man, Robert Waterlow, was 8'11". Ridiculous, eh? Says Robert. Yeah, no, that's a bit tall. That would probably... The thing is, though, when you're that tall, like, I don't know whether or not it was the case for him, but normally that comes with a lot of complications. So you spend a lot of your time like kind of in and out of hospital pretty much just trying to avoid pain, if that makes sense. And hopefully it wasn't the case for him. And also, yes, says Brent there, and also, hey, Sebastian, I'm good, mate. Says Tesla there, and also go Moana. Says Richard there. But now, 18 minutes in. And now, just about to feed this ball in. Nick White does get that one in. It's gone down on the front row penalty to Moana Pasifika. Right, they might consider taking on the quick tap. And it looks like Tom Hooper, he's hanging on to that ball. So you'd have to argue, you can't really do that without getting yourself in a bit of trouble. Right, who wants to take the quick tap this time is the question. Okay, no one. William Arvili will be kicking it for the touchline. They have learned from the last one. When you're that tall, you're constantly depending on a cane. If you can walk, that is life is just a burden as well. Says Sebastian, he died as well, says John. Probably young, if I'm not wrong. And also, while girls are not so tall as compared to men, I guess it's just different real genetics, I guess you could say. But then you could argue that some men are a lot shorter than women. So it just depends on your family, your genes, everything along those lines. And I guess everything to do with evolution as well, if you want to get real deep about it, in terms of the old, I guess, things that they did, maybe. And also, it's funny, my 13-year-old's taller than me, says Brent. Your 13-year-old, is he the one who's 2 meters tall? Because if he's 2 meters tall at 13, he's probably taller than a majority of people. I think also, I watched your lineups videos yesterday. Appreciate you, mate. And we are going to have all of them coming out for next week as well. And also, we have got there that Druid, Fiji and Druid Chiefs game, though, draw with 3 tries in the last 10 minutes. Says that, yeah, they were fighting back hard in the last stages. Currently, Moana Pasifika, they have got this one 19 minutes into the game. Ray Nuia has to drop down. I'm just glad that all the players have stopped turning blue for the last little while. But currently, still another 11 minutes left of Sekope Kepu's red card. So after that, they are going to be able to bring on Joe Apakatoa, who's actually already out on the field. And that Fijian crowd was amazing, says Edge Transit. It was. Like, that's an atmosphere that a lot of those people, they will remember for a long time. It's actually going back for another penalty in favor of Moana Pasifika from 5 meters out. Oh, it looks like a quick tap option here. Takes the tap, gives it up to Henry. Teammate Stowers against his old side in the Brumbies. And it's gone backwards. Now Tamatine passes it back across closer. Brian Pauly, he rolls. And he might have rolled himself. No, he didn't quite roll himself all the way. There is no defenders for the Brumbies out this side. And William Havili scores it for Moana Pasifika. And with a man disadvantage, Havili has just struck. We'll go like this. And we will go like this. Havili. Havili. There we go. He has been able to score himself the try in the 20th minute. A man down. And they haven't given up yet, Moana Pasifika. A very nice backline movement. At the end of the day, they literally had so many players out on that wing. And can you recall any famous fights happen between rugby players, any casualties or death happening on the rugby field? The thing is, as brutal as rugby is, I don't believe there have been that many, if any, deaths at like kind of professional rugby level. I could be wrong there. There might have actually been one relatively recently, but it wasn't at professional level. But the thing is, like football compared to rugby, they have a lot more deaths in football, believe it or not. And also, I know, mate, they have the best energy, positive vibes, and then 17 son, 13 girl, and then young. I don't know if he made it to 30, or I don't think he made it to 30 years old, which is young. And also, we have got the I like your lineup video, says Chad. Do appreciate that. And push and shoves happen, or are a common thing in rugby. Coding, it's just the heat of the moment. That one's going to be missing away to the side. So the score will be 5 points to Moana Pasifika and 7 now to the Brumbies. But 21 and a half minutes through this game. Moana Pasifika, they're right in this contest. We're $15 or $15 underdogs before, but I think they'll be about $12 underdogs now. I would be thinking. William Arvili, he'll be pretty happy to get himself over the try line. Also, who about time? I almost shut my eyes. Now I'm wide awake. Come on, Moana Pasifika, says Spider Meek. Kicked him behind. 10 meters out from their own line here, and it's going to be taken by Moana Pasifika. So they still have to wait another 8.5 minutes of that Sekope Kepu red card. Then they will be able to bring their next player out onto the field. Good run forward from Henry teammate Stowers initially. And he was tackled by Connell McHenry. Now goes back. to William Havili, looking for touch, and he does just that. Now Tom Banks considers taking it quickly. He could have, really. There were plenty of options if he did want to go across, but decided against it. William Havili. Looks like possibly Moana Pasifika. They need to make sure that they keep that back line. Oh, that wasn't very straight at all. And they've said it's fine. No, now they haven't. They have said it's not straight, and that is going to be going back now for the scrum in favour of Moana Pasifika. It's hard to tell what the momentum is doing in this match at the moment. It seems to be a little bit of a seesaw between the two sides. Oh, it sounds like they're going to check to one of the Moana Pasifika players, or maybe actually the coaches, sorry. Henry. Who is Henry? Oh, Henry Teifu, actually on the commentary. So it is actually going to be a player. I thought that normally it was the coaches during this stage. He's saying that he's proud of the boys digging deep for this matchup. But this is going to be the last game for Moana Pasifika of the year, sadly. But the good news is Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, all three are going to be playing in the Pacific Nations Cup alongside Australia in there as well. So that's going to be pretty intense. And also Henry Hoover in there as well, says Sebastian. And also, I love the Brumbies, says Chad. And also Reds or Crusaders next week. Did Henry the Hoover have a cartoon thing made of him? Or was he just a Hoover? But he's probably the most famous vacuum cleaner about, isn't he? Did he ever... I know that they had Brum. Do you guys remember Brum? Probably not. But Brum was an interesting one. It was a miniature car that used to just drive around. I don't know why, but it did. I think it was a superhero as well, the miniature car. I have to watch Brum again, see what happened, do a review maybe. But now it's going to be Abraham Pole driven backwards there. Advantage now against, it was actually Nick Frost. Did end up getting himself penalised there. Now Tapatine inside ball didn't work out, and now it's going back, and Red's got no chance. And Red's or Crusaders next week. Says Max, it's a tough one because at the end of the day, like, for me, the Reds didn't put anything near what they could have out there at Orange Theory Stadium. So they've got something else. Or Thomas the Tank Engine, choo-choo. And there's Sebastian. Yep, I had the sets of the Thomas the Tank Engine, and also I had the steam version of Thomas. How you put a droplet with your pipette, if anyone knows what that is, the little tweeze or like the little squeezer thingy. Put a pipette, little drop straight into his noggin, and then he'd blow out some steam. I don't know how that was allowed to be a kid's toy now that I think about it. That seems rather dangerous. And I was asking Mum and Dad if they ever drove or rode in a Triumph or Hillman Hunter. One moment, I will star that. I will ask them a little bit later on. And also the Blues lose, or if the Blues lose, they'll still be on top. They certainly will. And Brumbies 18, Moana 5. Says Jad, that's the prediction, and that's going to be taken nicely by Moana Pasifika. Now time off there. Tawatawa Nawai bumps off the tackle, and Nakwai and Moana Pasifika. They seem like they found their second win with only 14. Hamish, have you ever smelled a Waratah? If you do, what colour is a Waratah? I know it's not blue. And there as well, says Spider. Well, that depends on what you're talking about, because I know that a Waratah normally is involved in construction. If we're talking about that kind of Waratah, and it probably smells more like rust and metal than anything else. But if a Waratah is something else, then it probably smells like something else as well. My pick for the final is Auckland vs Crusaders. I like Wellington is my Canes to be there, but I can't see that happening either, says John, but now currently hanging on to this one. Moana Pasifika, Danny Tawala almost able to go through, but unfortunately just losing the footing at the end now. Jonathan Tamatine. Oh, it was almost stolen, but it's going back for another advantage. And also we have got there, if Blues lose, will they still be on the top? They certainly will be. They'll still have themselves first. And also a little bit earlier on, we have got Falau, Piatoa, and Fikatoa will boost the Tongan side, obviously, says Nazi Williams. They certainly will. It's going to be pretty awesome to see what they can do at international level. And also, Hamish, how do you get to know at earlier that you can live stream on YouTube and earn money for your family members, or you explore it on your own? Says Coding. Well, to be honest, when I started doing YouTube, there was no intention of ever being able to make a single cent, really. We were just kind of doing it because it was fun and I enjoyed the editing process. And then from there, it like kind of kept on growing, which is why I always say any money made just go straight back into the channel because I want to work out how I can make the videos even better over time. So whether that is with a new microphone or a different camera or all that kind of thing. But I guess it was kind of one of those ones that we never expected to get to the size that we are now at the start. Like we were expecting maybe 1,000 subscribers by the World Cup, which is coming up next year. 5 minutes in the card says Chad there. It's a good drive. And Moana Pasifika, it might be a try for Joe Apakatoa, but they want to go upstairs and they want to check this one. And Waratah has a red flower, says Spider Meg. I did not know that. I was thinking of the building site Waratahs. You know what those are. And also, there's been a lot of injuries this year in Super Rugby and can't wait for the quarterfinals, says Max. And also, the Chiefs says Champagne Lord. Okay. They want to make sure that there's no obstruction here, no truck and trailer type shenanigans going on from Moana Pasifika. But if they did get it right, that is going to give them the lead in this match up against the Brumbies. Okay, so if they break away to a new maul, it then means that the players in front are considered, I would say, to be honest, it's not too bad. Like, it's probably Henry Time Stowers who's the troubling factor, but he was driving forward and Nick White was avoiding him. So, I don't think you can call that as a no try. No issue there, I think, is what they say. Moana, trying to love your live commentary. Says Dad, do appreciate you, mate. And we have got plenty more coming in the future. Not only have we got Super Rugby, but also we are going to be covering the international games of rugby. We've got the URC quarterfinals coming up relatively soon. That is actually next week. Then the sevens is this weekend. I think try is good. And Moana Pasifika. Go Apakatoa. Maybe. That how we spell it? Apakatoa. Oh, not quite. Apakatoa has been able to score it off the bench and has been able to get himself the try. Moana Pasifika are leading this game now, ladies and gentlemen, up against the Brumbies, and they have scored 2 tries in the time that they've only had 14 men on the field. Joe Apakatoa just doing the eyebrows of one of his teammates, saying, I thought Waratah was a steel post. And this is John. And also, I say it again, Blues will verse Crusaders in the semi. Here's Paddy Wagon. Yeah, it will be a very interesting one. See how it does end up going. I'm confused at what's happening with my hair today. It looks like I've given myself a mohawk. I can tell you it's not the intention. Just looks like I'm a Mr. T wannabe. At the moment, upset, says Nazi Williams. Hard to tell. At the moment, also watching on work break, says Mikkelsen. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are enjoying your job at this stage. Oh, Liliafano brings it just round beautifully. And that will now make the score 12 points to 7 in favour of Moana Pasifika. This could be a massive upset on the cards here. And the Brumbies 28-12 for Moana and also Blues vs Crusaders in the final, says Champagne Lord. And also, so stop going on about Blues vs Crusaders, says Paddy Wagon there as well. I mean, you never know. You know, it could be a rarity. Somehow, randomly, something goes wrong and it happens. But it probably, yeah, it's going to be interesting. See how it goes. A kick downfield from Christian Liliafano, who did actually recently come back out onto the field after an HIA. Now, Nololisio kicks it up high. Awkward swirling ball. And Mount Smart Stadium. Oh, kept it in play. Henry Taifu. That's a lie. It's Henry Stowers. Taifu's on the bench. And I like you lads near and far away. Hamish, cheers, Betty. Cheers, David. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And I hope you're excited. And also, we have got the grow out a mullet, Hamish. See, I don't know if I would suit a mullet overall. Like, my hair's probably long enough to get a mullet if I did need one. Like, but I don't know if I need one at this stage. That's the thing. I don't think I've shown how long my hair actually is. At this stage, you guys just see it as normally short. And that's about it. And also, we have also got there. So, do the Chiefs go third if the Brumbies lose? They certainly do. If the Brumbies get it right, they will go to third, or they will stay, or actually back up to third, and then it will be fourth for the Chiefs. And also, we've got there be good to see an upset. Always makes things interesting. And also, red versus blue. And there is also Champagne Lord. And also, we have got the High Brother. Says David the Mod. And also, the final win. Whoa. Says Lex Axel. Yeah, big old upset starting to come here. It's going to be another penalty to Moana Pasifika. They might consider a 3-pointer here. Although they've got a minute left, so they might as well just go for the corner. And also we have got there, hiya, David. Says Sebastian, and also we've got there, wow. And also Muppets, says David the mod. And there as well, I feel like it sounds like you're asking him if he wants to watch the Muppet movie. Which, to be fair, is a decent movie. I used to watch it all the time at my nana's place. She had one of them, and it had a few people in it. I can't remember what one it was. I think it might have had Kermit. Kermit might have been about. Normally having his thingy with Miss Piggy, I believe. Maybe. And I was like, WTF, how good was that draw game? It was absolutely brilliant. And score a try, Brumbies, says Chad there. I'm going to look up Muppet movies while we've got a little bit of a stoppage. And also, Waratahs is a shrub which has bright red flowers. Or Waratah is a shrub that has bright red flowers and has a New South Wales emblem. Ah, I see. And also, how's the Brumbies losing? That's the thing. They've had a man advantage as well. But now it is going to be the kick. Right, Muppets movies. Was it even a Muppets one? I think one of them got lost. Maybe. One get lost? It was definitely an older one. It wasn't a Christmas movie. The Muppets Take Manhattan? No, I don't think it was that one either. I don't know what movie it was. I think it had Oscar the Grouch in it, which now makes me think it's Sesame Street, isn't it? I'm going to have to look up Sesame Street movies. What movies have we got? Street Gang. Nah, it might have been Elmo, actually. What's Elmo been up to lately? Not a lot by the look. So he's got a huge amount of movies, though. And also did an narcissist, or anarchist. An narcissist. I don't know how to say it. I'll be honest. I probably normally get it wrong. And also we have got there. Please be quiet. It as well says Xavier. And also we have got there. I'm from the Muppets generation. Says Devil the Mole. And also that big massive one. Harry used to scare the crap out of me when I was young and go Moana. And also Brumbies forwards are a strength of theirs. They ain't got units like Moana Pasifika. And also we have got the Amish Euro Muppet. And the Brumbies have no jackal threats. Says Stars 15 for that one. Who is Louis Adam? Have we got a Louis Adam? I don't know. We got a Louis Adam? Not too sure where Louis Adam is. I can't actually see him. It also make him get 10,000 subs. And as well says Chad, and also Elmo been up to the court cases and caused the upset Moana. I guess the question is, has there been a Muppets movie that also has had Sesame Street in it? Because I can't remember what movie it was. And I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. Getting Barney involved in the mix as well. That would be quite the mashup. But now Tom Banks off to Tom Wright, who's had a little bit of a juggle, but it's going back for the initial penalty. It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. And now with a big hug, or a great big hug, and a kiss from me to you. From Barney, of course. There have been too many movies. What movie does Elmo get lost in? Get lost in. There we go. Where's Elmo lost? The Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland. I think that's the movie. That's got to be it, I assume. I mean, nothing really reminds my brain. Yeah, actually, no, it's Elmo in Grouchland. And also, Brumbies missing key players. Not hugely. I know that they're missing Rob Valentini, but other than him, they are pretty much their strongest lineup for this match. And also, we have got the What About Courage, the Cowardly Dog. I used to love that show as a kid, says Tesla. And also, Won't You Say You Love Me Too? That's my generation. And then also, I cried when Jimmy Henson died. And Kermit sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Very sad, says John. And also 27 minutes and the Brumbies still on 7. And also that guy who had his hand up, Elmo, went to court for being inappropriate. David, also the Adventures of Elmo at Ram Ranch. I don't know whether or not that one has come out yet, but maybe when Elmo comes out, you might go for it. Now currently sitting about 22 metres out, Nick White gives it off to Scott Co. Pop pass up to Pete Samu. 34 minutes through this game. This one has been absolutely flying by. At the moment, also, we've got the Elmo Loves Rocco. And there's come on, Brumbies score a try. Tell you what, they're very close at the moment, only a couple of metres out from the line. Good defence from Jonathan Tamatine. Brumbies waiting for it. Darcy Swain now, big bit of contact. And it is offside, unfortunately, for Moana Pasifika. Around the side, Pete Samu. Still the offside advantage in play, and they're going back for it. And also, we have the Ram Ranchers, Elmo's World in there. Petty. And also, we have their Lost in Manhattan. I think that was a Muppet movie. Was it? Yeah, it was, actually. Now I look at it. But yeah, it's a tricky one to remember. Elmo and Grouchland. I think that's the one that I watched way back in the day at me Nana's place. Because it's got Oscar the Grouch, but it's also got some other fellows who aren't actually from the Muppets, I don't think. And also Pigs in Space. And also Tesla, that's a tricky one. Or like that's one that you don't want to go down that route because it seems like it splits quite a few opinions. It's now finished, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. I want to hear a story about Elmo. Says Patty, that depends on what that story is. And also we have got that Big Bird would make a great lock. He would. He's a big boy. And I mean, that's the thing. If you had to pick Sesame Street characters to play certain roles in rugby, where would you put them? Big Bird's got to be your lock. Your first five, I feel like Elmo would have to be maybe in the centres. He's got more of a thinking brain, perhaps. Bert and Ernie, you'd have one on each wing, although you could probably have them. Actually, Bert would be more of a lock as well, just a lot shorter than old Big Bird. And then also maybe Ernie could be one of your props, I guess, if you had to find one. And also Johnny O'Day, just because he lost a lot from Amber. Says that also we've got there. I think they might be getting the Muppets mixed up with Bill Cosby. Don't want to get those two mixed up. Says John there. And now kick downfield. That's gone into touch for them as well. And also we have there, come on, Leinster, says Luke Conway. And of course, that game going to be taking place a bit later on tonight. Should be very exciting. See who does end up winning that Champions Cup final. But that was a knock on there from Noel Olesia. Unfortunately, mistake after mistake here. Let's say Elmo's more like in the showers kind of guy. Or in the showers kind of guy. And also Oscar the Grouch is Steve Hansen. And then Oscar would be halfback. Although the thing is, do we know how strong Oscar's legs are? Because we see him in the bin all the time. I'm going to look up to see whether or not he's even not in the bin. Sesame Street, Oscar, not in the bin. Let's see whether or not he's spent any of his time not in the bin. No, he's always in the bin. Doesn't actually have legs. Or does he? Maybe. Hard to say. But I guess wherever you put him, he's going to have to be, like, he's all arms. So probably hooker might be a good option just because he can do the line-out throws. And now hanging on to this one. I'm back across, currently just outside of the 22. Cookie Monster would be a better jackler than David Pocock. And there says Lex Axel. Yeah, if you tell him that the ball's got cookies in it, he'll be all over it. And also, I guess you could say Cookie Monster would be decent in a breakdown as well. Banter, bit of that. Gotta love it. Now, going out to Tamoti Tawatanawai tries to go over the top. I don't even know if David Pocock eats cookies, to be honest. Like, I feel like it'd be one of those guys that might eat 1 gram of sugar and say, oh, that was a bit much. And also, who loves Ebba? Xavier, and also we get their 4 pass there. Lex Axel and under 20 Highlanders did well. They did at halftime. I did see that it was 20-0 and Big Bird equals lock and Oscar in the sin bin. That would make more sense. Kia ora, David the Mod. And now I'm from Leinster, Dublin, says Luke. You'll certainly hope that Leinster is going to be able to get themselves a winner to that match on TV, says Connor. If you're in New Zealand, it is on Sky Sport 1. Well, but now kicked him behind. Going to be waiting for it. Tom Banks takes it nicely, and now the counter-attack about to come in. But Levi Amua, that was forward, right in front of the referee. He considered blowing for it, but then decided against it. I don't think better than any rugby players do. Men flatting has different connotations these days. Says David the Modern Gaming Amish. I was going to say something like that. Says Paddy Wagon. Now it's going to be taken nicely by William Harvelli. Now going off to the side to Mothi Tava Nawai. The Moana Pasifika boys have really been fighting for ever since they got that red card. It seems like it's really woken them up. And are you doing the Leinster game today? I am hoping to do a majority of it. I might have something planned for the later stages of that match, perhaps, with the 7th going on as well. But I believe we will be doing at least 60 to 70 minutes of that game and then maybe having someone else come in for the last 10. And Barbarians did good, says Max. And also, I'll see you guys near the end of this match up the Moana lads. And then as the Hurricanes win today, does that mean the Highlanders are in the quarterfinals? Certainly does. And second half, Brumbies are going to get a foot up the says Lex. And also lack of sleep means bloated face in there, says Lex. Lack of sleep means bloated face. Is my face, is it bloated at the moment? Is that what we're saying? To be fair, I got a pimple there and a pimple there, so I look like I've had some Botox. Which isn't very ideal. We're also doing the sevens game today. Says Graham, we have got a mix and match of the two, but anytime that we are doing Super Rugby with a sevens game going on, I'm going to keep you guys informed of the scores, who's scoring the tries and everything. So it's pretty much, it won't be down as a sevens live stream, but throughout Super Rugby, we will be telling you exactly what's happening. And the sevens as well. Nah, I'm speaking from experience. Says Lexi, and also hope the Blues can continue their win streak, and also better than any would be in the Pride team. And it's John there. That is very true. And also, Hamish, do you know what the meaning of the word brumbies? This brum doesn't act like one. And there says Spider Mac, yeah, brumbie normally is to do with the horse. That's a nice bit of horsepower there from Moana Pasifika. They score again. It's a penalty try, which means maybe the Brumbies, they've already had one yellow card here. Is there going to be another man in the bin? There might be. Moana Pasifika on a rampage. Jerome Brown, he's going to be 13. What's going on? 13 men on the field for the Brumbies. 19 points on the board for Moana Pasifika. These boys have come to play in this matchup right at the end of the first half. They have got another, and also, Hamish, you're always bloated. Cheers. Very generous of you to say. And also, do you think it will be easy for the Highlanders to make the finals? These cats are the best. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to take down the Blues. And went from 4 hours sleep to 7 to 8 the past month. I feel more alive than I've ever been. And also, we have got the opponent penalty try, and brilliant. And the Brumbies as disciplined as never, says Sebastian. And also, your face is pretty as ever, Hamish. And there with 4 laughing faces afterwards. And also, wow, I'm very, very sad, says Chad. Don't panic. It's still early on in the game. So another 40 minutes. I think they've ordered a restart now, and the Brumbies will have to kick this one off. So the points currently, that's wrong, I think. Or is it? Is it 20 points at the moment to Moana Pasifika, or is it 19? Because Connell McHenry, he's off the field now for another 7.5 minutes. And Jerome Brown off the field for another 9.5, 13 on the field. What the hell? Says John, they kick it into touch, or throw it into touch, in fact, from Henry Stowers. And now that is going to be halftime. 19 points to 7 in favour of Moana Pasifika. I'm very interested now to see what the odds are going to be sitting at, because they were $15 underdogs. Now the Brumbies are $2.50, no, $2.90 underdogs, and the Brumbies to win. Says David there. Don't know, it's going to be a tricky one for the second half. It's going to be that first 10 minutes that changes in. Cheers, Moana. And there outside says David, and also no way Brumbies lose with the top team, and the Blues win their C team, right? And 19-7, it is on Google. Yes, and the scoreboard has decided to give them an extra point. I think it gave them a bonus point just for doing very well. You know, it was just like, you know what, might as well give them an extra one while we're at it. And also, we're going to Hamishly spam something in the chat. Tell us what to spam, says Sebastian. Spam, I don't know. What do we, I'm not used to this. I guess spam Oscar. Yeah, we do that. I don't know. I've gone blank. Spam Botox. Go on then. See how it goes. So I guess, is this Bogans in there? I don't know. Those are not looking good for the Brumbies and brother. There, and also we have got their Oscar in there, says Xavier. And that one as well. That's the thing. I haven't actually been Botox. Not looking good for the Brumbies and also the Bogans. And there's all. And World's Biggest Upset says, hey, plays. I don't know about World's Biggest, but it's certainly going to be up there if they are able to get themselves a win. And ain't over till the obese lady sings, though. And Botox, says Sebastian, in there. That's the thing. I feel like you guys, if I ever did get Botox, you'd be able to tell straight away, because it would probably be on there, and then all of a sudden my forehead would just be sitting like this, and my face would be stuck. And I just look a little bit confused all the time. And I was like, hey, David the Mod, did you see the Broncos won the Kiwi Lads? I did not. So that is good news for them. And what the heck, Moana Pasifika, let's flip and go. Says Mark Roberts. And also we got their Botox from Lord. And also we got their spam like Gorn Beef. And there says Nazi Williams, come on the Brumbies. And then NRL Warriors losing streak continues. It does. But at least they're committing to it, you know. If it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. But just commit to the losing streak. And that's what they're doing. And then also we have got the Botox. And there's Betty, and also, yes, there's, it was Eva. And also we have got there Timothy with the banana pick. Of course, bit of cricket. And also there's no team good enough to play Blues in the final. I'd rather have under 20 Blues to play the A Blues. Says Spider Meg. That's a very bold statement. Very bold, but I like the confidence. And we'll have to wait and see how it does end up going for them. He said time for the fans. And as I says, Nazi Williams. Right up, where's Louis? It's gone very, very quick. And also Botox bollocks. And there's Lex Axel, and that's how you spam in there as well. I mean, it's going very quickly at the moment, the chat, isn't it? I've noticed that when you spam, like, the chat just flies, doesn't it? I guess. And also we have got there, that hurt. It probably would, but the thing is, it's not completely undone. Or, like, not completely not tried, I don't think. Right, I'm looking through at Oscar. And I don't think I've ever seen that man's legs. If you call him a man, because he's kind of like, yeah, he's just a bin. He's in a bin. There's also got Bert and Ernie. Who else has been about on the old Sesame Street? I couldn't name 5 Sesame Street characters. In fact, that's going to be the task. If I can name 5, I win something. I don't know what I win. I probably win like my tripod back or something. And also we've got there, say, Rip Ray Liotta, the Kiwi lads. That's what you missed. And there's, well, who is Ray Liotta? I feel like I should know, shouldn't I? I'm not too sure. And also now Bollocks is getting spammed in the chat. I think the Crusaders are the only team to beat the Blues. That is not quite true. The Hurricanes actually were the one side who were able to get the job done. And Oscar has his legs blown off in Norm. And also we've got there more Bollocks. And also Brumbies are the best. Right, 5 Sesame Street characters. So you got Oscar, first one. Got Elmo, the second one. Got Bert and Ernie, that's nicely done. 5. You need someone else. Did I say Big Bird? Have I said Big Bird? Oscar, Elmo, Big Bird, Bert and Ernie. There we go. I win my tripod back. Nailed it. And well, unbelievable. Go Moana, go show them the Warrior or show them the Moana. And then also the other is an actor. I'm going to look him up. Who is it? Where is the actor in The Godfather? I'm trying to look for the first name. It's disappeared in the bollocks. There's a lot of bollocks in the chat, as in like literally the word bollocks. Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta. Oh, I know him. He was in Wild Hogs, wasn't he? If I'm not wrong. Maybe. I think I just heard a double yip from a dad. If he was talking to me. He said yip again. He said yip again. I think he's saying yip to me. And also, we have got there, he wasn't in The Godfather. Is it Goodfellas maybe that they're talking about rather than the Godfather? And also that look is top in there as well. And also searching for meaningful comments in between the bollocks. So also we've got there, yes he was. And also Brumbies can't win tonight, says Walter. And also we've got the Wild Hogs, good family movie. And then also we've got their Goodfellas, Amish, great movie. And also will the South African teams come back to Super Rugby? I don't think so, sadly. Which is a bit of a shame. Not near future anyway. Like maybe in a hello. I see. Do you know Ray Liotta?
Yeah, he was in Wild Hogs.
Wild Hogs, yep. Were you saying yep to me before?
Yep.
Okay, yep, that's good. And also we have got the Big Bird's friends, Mr. Snuffleupagus.
That's right.
Is
Snuffy.
it?
Snuffy.
Is it?
Yeah, he'd be the number 8 in your team.
He'd be the number 8.
Well, he's not very mobile, but...
And he? Where would you put Oscar the Grouch in your Sesame Street rugby team?
Yeah, hooker.
Yeah, hooker?
Yeah.
Get him to throw it in?
Yeah, wind up the opposition.
I was like, yep. It was Betty Wagon. And also we have got there in the chat, he played Jack and Wild Hogs. And also I like Super Rugby being just the Trans-Tasman competition. Actually, I hated waking up at strange times to watch Crusaders play in South Africa, says Mr. Lachlan. Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's always a tough I guess you could say it's always a tough time whenever it's a middle of the night game, like for not Super Rugby, but for the other thingamabob that I can't remember the name of, British and Irish Lions tour. And there, I think that just ended up being a bit weird. But now that's like my breakfast time, like 2 or 3 a.m., which is very weird. And also we have got there, if the Druid didn't take the 2 threes in a row, they beat your Chiefs, says it was Xavier. And there, yeah, see, that's the thing. I didn't understand why they didn't go for it. And also your Chiefs should have lost to the Rebels in the Drua, but winners know how to win. And there says Xavier, although they're not really my Chiefs, so I am from Canterbury. But I just have the Chiefs kit because it was sent to me. And also Wild Hogs was one of the worst movies ever. There, tell you what, we're going to ask that question, ladies and gentlemen. What is one movie that you think was absolutely terrible, like a well-known movie that a lot of people praise? What is one movie that you'd have to say is like, didn't quite do it for me? Because I know that someone a while ago actually said Elf, but I know that Elf's quite a popular one. So it's an interesting one to choose. But yeah, do let me know your least favorite movie, but also one that's quite popular. Fix the scoreboard, Hamish, says Patty. I'll see if it does it. There we go. Has behaved itself. And also we have there, I loved it. There, and also we have got there, have you watched Obi-Wan, Hamish? I have not yet. So no spoilers. And also the movie that was bad. And then Wild Hogs was bad, but a good laugh, Drunk with the Fam. And also Little Shop of Horrors, deplorable. And any movie is boring, says Xavier. And there. But yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? For trying to pick. And also Ray Liotta voiced Tommy Vercetti in GTA Vice City, by the way. So you surely know him. See, that's the thing. I know his face. Trying to think of the voice is tricky to do. Like, but I guess I probably hear an Amber's movie there. And also we got them Moana Pasifika is angry now, so better watch out, big team. And there, as I says, Walter, and also we have got there, what about the Blue movie? Xavier says Nazi Williams, and the only TV show or movie I've ever liked is Head High. And it's about rugby, isn't it? So I feel like that's the perfect little combo for yourself. I know that anything with Nicolas Cage gets a bit of a 50-50 reaction. Overall, some people think he's good, some people don't think he's good. I remember watching Con Air a little bit with the put the money back in the box. That was his line. He nailed that one. And also the protagonist in Vice City, that's why he sounds like, well, that's what he sounds like, says Sebastian. And also we have there Moana Pasifika first half ball position, 72%. Moana, hold on, don't give up yet. Says Timothy Tomasi. And also Fijians, not the smartest rugby players, fast, but not known for their intelligence. Sorry, my Buller friends, only when rugby concerned, says John there. But that's the thing, where they don't have that side of things, like they make up for in the way that they just manage to play the most unorthodox game of rugby. And I think that actually helps in a way, because you never know what they're going to do, because they don't know what they're going to do. They're going to go out there, they're going to put 110% into it. See how it goes, about to watch the All Blacks versus Oz. Says Knockman, yep, that one is coming up just around the corner, and we are actually going to be keeping you guys informed of what is happening in that match as well in the process in the hunt for Red October Best Movie Ever. And there, I will be honest, I have never heard of it. Do not be mad at me. I almost called you Sebastian, but David, there are a whole heap of bananas in London, but that is because they are dressed up like bananas. But New Zealand versus Australia is just about to take place. I think the camera was glitching out a little bit there. And I'll say what happened to the scoreboard before. It was 20, now it's 19-7. Pretty much the scoreboard, it had the wrong maths. So luckily it has now worked out what the score actually was in that match. And I wonder who will win Super Rugby Pacific. For me, it's probably Crusaders, Blues, or maybe an upset of some other sort. Maybe, I mean, that's the thing. The Chiefs, I would have said Chiefs, but then the way that they played in that second half. And also we've got to ask your dad about it, Hamish. So what's it called? The Hunt for Red October. I'll send him a message. A moment. Hunt for Red October. Any good? There we go. And also we got that Morning Hall, says Gareth, and also the Blues, says Graham. There's also Morning Gareth, and a tad offensive, but the Buller boys ain't matter, don't you think? Well, about the Buller Boys rain matter, don't you think? It was quite a harsh one, to be honest. But, yeah, at the end of the day, like, they're winning gold medals and they're playing very good rugby. So I feel like the end of the day, you got to have, like, a pretty good intelligence to be able to do that. Read my last message, please. And also, it is there from the 80-metre try by the Fiji, but don't have Sky Sport, but going to get it for the ABs. And there, as I said, Max Cottle, and also we have got the score is 19 points to 7, and also Fiji 7's very, very different story. Fiji and Legends, and also Morning All, and also we get the Morning Gareth, and they're from Gareth. But yeah, hopefully you did enjoy your birthday, Gareth. Did you have a eye for that birthday with some bowls? I still can't say that word, and some meat. I think is the easier way of saying it. I did like little biggest whorehouse in Texas. Biggest little whorehouse in Texas. My dad just sent me, never watched it. So he hasn't seen Hunt for Red October. Maybe that's going to have to be a movie night at some stage. And also, we have the yes, Jack Ryan, and also Moana Pasifika is trying to put Fiji into the bottom place. Says Walter the Ambro, Moana Pasifika winning OMFG. Yeah, they've been doing very nicely for themselves. 2 converted tries in a row almost there for them, including the one that was a penalty try. But speaking of tries, New Zealand have just scored their first try up against Australia. So they will be pretty happy with that one. I watched Ray Liotta and Copland and Powder Blue. And also, we've got a happy birthday, mate. Says David, and also Submarine movie. Very good. Stars Sean Connery for Hunt for the Red October. And of course, I'm going to have to look up Sean Connery because I should know what he looks like, but I can't remember him. Sean Connery. I don't recognize him. Was he in Star Wars? No. What has Sean Connery been in? Other than like James Bond? I don't know. I don't know if I've watched any movies that Sean Connery's actually been in, to be honest. Probably not ideal. And also we have got there 007. And then also Hamish, who Sean Connery is an ex-James Bond. He did pass away at the age of 90, kind of recently, I think. So because of that, I would think that he was probably quite some time ago that he was doing quite a bit of acting. And also Johnny, and he says David, and also we have got there Go Out New Zealand Sevens here. Currently they are sitting 7-0 up, although now it looks like they're about to be sitting 7-all. Yes, they are. That was a mistake from them, but now we are ready to go. And also we've got I like the Hunt for Red October, especially the submarine encounter. The submarine encounter. Very good Hunt for Red October submarine movie. Okay. What happened in the submarine? I only know one thing was James Bond. My dad is currently messaging me on the phone as well. I feel like he's like the stat man at the moment. So was James Bond. How many James Bonds have there been? There's been a lot, hasn't there? And also The Rock with Nick Cage in there as well. Says John, that's going to be kicked downfield from Moana Pasifika, currently hanging on to this one inside of the 22. Nick White will now have plenty of time to be able to kick this one towards the touchline, and he does manage to get the ball out. A lot I've heard it all. Sean Connery as well. And there says Gareth. Yeah, I might be a little bit unhip. Well, I guess what's the opposite of unhip? Because I guess it's not hip, is it? It's kind of more uncultured. That's the word. And also we have got there Sean Connery got sucked off in a speedboat. Legend. Well, there you go. I'm sure that's not what he was remembered for. And also, I'm a Chiefs fan, but Crusaders, for that experience of winning at the right time, prove me wrong. And also, we have got there, everyone, I'm so sorry I am not here. Although, no worries at all. And thank you very much, my brother, for giving us live commentary on behalf of the viewers. We give our appreciation, no worries at all. And we are going to be back with all of the quarterfinal fixtures, the semi-finals, the finals as well. And we've got some sevens a little bit later on tonight, which will be an exciting one. But now it's a big run forward from, I believe that was Levi Amua. And also, well, shock result at the moment. If this stays the same, Chiefs get third place and secure the home playoff. And that's how they settle to. And alongside that, the Brumbies, they would be in fourth, which would be a bit disappointing for them. That's going to be a knockout against Moana Pasifika. And also go Moana, says Tama Soli'i. And then also go Brumbies, says Chad, for that one. And Nicolas Cage, overrated. I've heard that quite a few times. The fact that, like, either you love him or you hate him, Nicolas Cage. was like a sex symbol at 70. I'm like, damn. And there says David, and also not to be confused with The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock was the movie title. And as us says John, oh, yeah, interesting. Who do you think is going to be winning that game later on between the Waratahs and the Blues Rugby itch? Do let me know. As I guess it is your home side with a lot of changes. Jerome Brown currently getting some strapping on the wrist. Brumbies to come back. I'm just Hamish. I'm just Hamish. Do what about to say very. And as I says Brandon, at the moment, still 5 minutes left of Connell McHenry. And now it's actually Lachlan Lonergan who has made his way out onto the park, rearing to go for this game. But if Moana Pasifika win it, it is huge for them. And it would be their biggest win of the season. And they were able to beat the Hurricanes in golden point time. But this would be their first game in normal time if they are able to pull it off. But it's still a long way from over. That is for sure. At the moment, Andy Muirhead actually, he's just eaten a thigh to the cheek there at the scrum time. Going to be now a free kick. A little bit of an early shove from Moana Pasifika. And I would think more than likely they wouldn't mind slowing this down just a little bit. Joe Apakatoa, he's out on the field. That is due to the, I guess you could say, the red card of Sekope Kepu. Unfortunately, did end up getting himself the card in about the 10th minute of this game. And also we have got there, and the chat, do you think the Brumbies will come back? Oh, it's a good question because they have got a very, very strong side when they're back to 15. And a couple of those guys off the bench as well could bring a little bit of the extra heat. I will say for now, yes. But if there's another 1 or 2 tries for Moana Pasifika, probably not. At that stage, and also I just watched highlights. Fiji versus Chiefs. What a game, says Max Cotto. It was a brilliant one. Now a good run from Tamoti Tavatavanawai. And this could be the first try that they do need to try and give themselves a bit more of a lead. And also we've got the submarine commander was Sean Connery. And he was in the submarine, got away from Russian control by surrendering to the USA. And the Blues are going to win. Says Chad there. Now Lachlan Lonergan has been able to clean that ball up for the Brumbies. And this will use up a little bit more time. Your culture there, Hamish, getting the Polly brothers or the Polly players pronunciation right. There's us, Dazzy Williams. That one's gone into touch. Yes, it has. It looked like he was considering taking it quickly, but instead, Levi Amua has decided that they're better off taking the line out. But this has been power and precision from Tamothi Tavatavanawai and Levi Amua, and also Tavatavanawai. Those premiership clubs better stay the F away from him. Says Lex Axel. Also, we've got there in the hi, this I just dropped my tripod. Also, hello, this Brumbie is on now. I think the Brumbies has lost. And there's us says it was, and also we have got there could be another 1 point win again, possibly. I do see that in the game between Australia and New Zealand currently, ladies and gentlemen. New Zealand, they are sitting 14 points to 12 up, but now a kick to come for Australia. It's missed though, so the score will be 14 points to 12 at halftime in favour of the Kiwis. And also, mate, we will win tonight game by 20 points plus. Come on, the Brumbies. Says Craig there. Now Pacific are doing very well. They did have a red card earlier on in the match, but they've come back brilliantly from that. How you doing cricket on Tuesday evening? Says Brandon there. Which game's on Tuesday evening, Brandon? Do let me know. And also, has anyone seen Outer Banks? Because I have. Says Max. I have not. And also, come on, Moana. I haven't really watched too many movies or TV shows or anything in the last 6 months. I've learned, or actually, to be fair, since starting doing YouTube, I think anytime I get a little bit of a break, I'm either listening to music and editing or editing without music, which can get quite, I guess you could say, quite quiet at times. So then I just go and get music. It also where they come on Brumbies, be like Wild Horse. And then says Spider-Man, and also, has anybody seen Prison Break? I have not. And also, here's my theory. Brumbies are playing with less intensity, but still keeping their top team on the field to look good. Says Lax Axel there. Also, you're thinking it's more of one of those ones just getting some minutes under their belt. And also, they just asked you tonight. Okay, never mind. And also, we have got their Outer Banks is not as good. Not a bad show. Says Cameron there. So I feel like there's a lot of things I need to watch, isn't there? In me time. I mean, as soon as the rugby season's over, we go straight into cricket. So I think I'll have about a week in September where I might be able to watch some stuff. The Blues versus Brumbies game was like the grand final. Says how he plays. It was indeed. And Bowden Barrett nailing that last-minute drop kick to be able to get his Blues side the win. And Prison Break hasn't aged well. I generally can't remember anything from it. And there's Sebastian. And also, yes, season 3 coming out, Cameron. Says Max. But currently in this game, You have to wonder, is there going to be a late comeback? It looks like James Slipper now out on the field. That is going to be for Scott Seo. Right. How slippery is it out there at the moment, Joe Apakatoa? They are talking about him having a couple slips and slides throughout the early stages of the match, but now Reinuia goes in nicely, stolen there by the Brumbies. And now Nick White hanging on to it and also forces going to win. And Hamish, do you offer your editing talents and skills out for dollars? And this is Nazi Williams. I haven't really in the past, but I mean, it is something that I could try and do in the future, I guess. Maybe, if that is something, because that's the thing, I wouldn't know who to offer it to. Drop kick. And I've got it. That's 3 points for the Brumbies. So they've been able to steal the 3 there. It was a bad show. Just hasn't stuck and go the force. Can New Zealand keep Aussies at bay? They look a bit rattled. And also I watched Alcatraz. And there it says it was Spider Mick. Straight down the middle of the park. Or down the middle of the post there. And also go the force. And also we have got there the South second half. Well, Brumbies will score the next 30 plus points. The final score will be 47-19. And then come on, Brumbies. And Australia versus Pakistan T20 game. To Joe say, I look on Google. Just give me a minute. And Call of Duty Mob of the Dead. And also Alcatraz is okay. Not the bad one. Or not too bad. Only one season though. Here's Cameron. But now the lead of 9. And I believe they are still on the field with 13. That was a big bit of contact there from Michael Curry. Although he hasn't been able to roll the way that he would have liked to. Now players leaving their feet flat out. He's back on the side of the Brumbies, and it looks like Nick White will be putting up this box kick. Now, remember when Michael Schofield broke out of prison axle? Michael Schofield. One moment. Schofield. I know him. Has he been in anything else other than Prison Break? I've seen him before, but I don't know what he's been on. And also, we were there 5 a.m. just saying. And there's Nazi Williams there. And also, yep, it is, says Brandon. And also, Reece Walsh slipped on his ass today, taking a conversion. And yes, saw the Reece conversion, poor fella. Says Sebastian. And also, we got their morning Hamish in chat. Says Carl Peterson. Welcome in, mate. And I wonder, did you put your money on the Miami Heat? Because if so, you'd be a very happy man at the moment, I would think. Now, nicely done. Let's go Pacific Ocean. So here's Obi, and I'll say yes. And there's Obi now is going to be passed across. Hanging on to that one, currently sitting on the halfway line here. Moana Pasifika, they've still got this one with 32 minutes left. Currently, New Zealand leading their game with the Sevens, 14 points to 12. Yes, I did, and I woke up happy. And there's, says Carl Peterson. And also, we have got their morning, Carl. Says Sebastian, but that one's gone high now, taken nicely by Tom Banks. Tries to spin out of that tackle. And now it looks like he's fallen awkwardly. And because of a Moana Pasifika, a bit of a counter ruck there. And you'd have to say that that's almost got to be their ball, doesn't it? There was a hand used by the Brumbies, and they're just going to hang on to it. I bet $0 we'll see Akira Ioane's cheeks again tonight. Says Lex Axel, yeah, shorts just seem to be not tight enough. Michael Schofield was so smart, Lex Axel. And we have a game 7, Sebastian. Let's go. So pull your damn shorts up. Stop promoting your fluorescent undies. Says Lex. So I believe that was Tom Banks that time. Did end up with the pants down a little bit, as long as they don't end up around the ankles, because or else then you get more than just the undies being shown. Go Heat smash themselves. This is Sebastian. And go Moana Pasifika, run straight like a bull. I believe that is, but now I believe they haven't made any changes now. And Manu Pai, anytime he's on the screen, he's always dancing. Just seems to be a very happy chappy. But Caleb Tangitau has just scored another try for New Zealand, so they are leading 19 points to 12 over Australia. And they will be trying to make sure that they get themselves a win here, because if they don't, they might end up missing out on the quarterfinals like they did last week, and they certainly want redemption after that one. Michael Jordan's son was balling, and says Carl. Now it's a scrum feed. It's a free kick to Moana Pasifika. They take the quick tap. Oh, okay, that one's gone off, and also shows the watch name of Stranger Things, Manifest, Ozark, The Queen's Gambit, Hannah, Midnight Mass, Lupin, The Boys, Arcane, Umbrella Academy, Mindhunter, Sweet Tooth, Black Mirror, Breaking Bad, just to name a few. I think the thing is, you've listed that one, right? I think I've only seen Stranger Things out of that whole list. And I don't even know if I'm up to date because I think a new season came out. And when is what time is Samoa first game? Says Alex Samoa. So their first game, I believe, is at 10:44. I'll just have a quick check though and make sure I got the right time for you. Now I'm going to be passing it back across Levi and Moa, trying to spin out, and they will be actually playing Japan in their very first fixture. The Blues field a B team to throw a game away rather than later. Just finished watching the game, missed it live. There's Carl there. So the next game. Australia have just scored. This game's getting quite close. It will be 19-all between the sides, and they're going back for the penalty to Moana Pasifika. Have you seen James Bond Royal Poker? I have not. To be honest, I'm very uncultured. Haven't watched a lot of things. And also, new season dropped last night. Now I can't wait for the second half of season 4 in there. But I will mention Samoa's first game, 10:44 p.m. Alex Samoa, and that will be up against Japan. And we will be at that stage live for the Blues versus Waratahs. But what we will be doing is we will keep you informed about who is scoring the tries and everything along those lines while it is taking place. But we're hoping to fit in a Samoa game a little bit later on in the night. And I believe that matchup will be the one taking place between, what moment? I'm just having a quick look. I'm hoping to be able to do Samoa versus either Scotland or Samoa versus England. Did you stream the Lion versus Toulon final? I wasn't actually able to find it, sadly, in New Zealand, which is a bit of a shame because I would have loved to be able to watch it. But Christian Laliafano going for the 3. James Bond is overrated anyway. Better read the Sherlock Holmes book. They're brilliant. And then had Wisconsin Burgers last night. Highly recommend. And also I've seen none of those shows, Cameron. And also the name's Bond, James Bond, and watched Winning Time. That was my favorite because basketball is my favorite sport, says John. And the Pink Panther. And Kiakaha says it was. Ooh, yep, it does go over. That was from Luke. So welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also thank you again, says Alex Samoa. No worries at all. So yeah, 10:44 is their first match. 1:50 is their second match up against Scotland. And then it will be 5:33 a.m. is their last game. But we will be covering all of their games from then on out. As I can guarantee you that their quarterfinals, semi-finals, the final if they make it that far, and everything in between. Only Moana Pasifika, they've got themselves a lead, 22 points to 10, as we currently sit now. I'm off the Tavatava Ngā Wai. Let's take it just outside of the 22. Have you ever played Spy vs. Spy on PS2? Are you, sir, a culture king? Or if you ever played it, I did not. I played Simpsons Hit and Run, which some of you guys may have. Oh, William Harvey just has a bit of a slip and slide there. Someone put some possibly washing detergent down, and he slipped. Maybe some soap instead. Might have been the safer option, a little bit less irritating on the eyes, depending on the brand that you've got. Panthers are just skilled as. And there says Louis. Being told to use the ball now. 27 minutes left. Now firing it back. Christian Laliafano. It's been charged down. The Brumbies are fighting back here. And why didn't Lolicia do a drop kick? I think it was just to get them a little bit further back in. And the only other side of things that I could think of is because maybe it meant that they got their men back out on the field, but I don't know if that was the case. And yes, Hit and Run is a classic. And also we've got there 3 more points, says MH Joy. And also we have got there intelligent play from Moana to secure a penalty in the middle of the field. That is going to be going back now in favour of the Brumbies. And we have to get Carl the Kangaroo. The game looks all right. Carl the Kangaroo. I have not heard of such a game. Carl the Kangaroo. It's a series. They come out in 2022. What is in the game? Oh, it looks all right. Kind of looks like Sea of Thieves mixed with Ark. Like just from looking at it first of all. So has it come out, Sebastian? Or, although I seen 19 hours ago review, so did it literally just drop? And also who's winning the Sevens, New Zealand versus Australia. So currently in their matchup, when I last saw it, it was 19-all. New Zealand snuck it though, 24 points to 19. So they were able to get themselves the win. And also 3 more points, says MH Joy. But now the Brumbies, they are trying to go for the full 7 here. Darcy Swain, Nick Frost. A bit of a chat there. Is NBA League Pass available on your country, Hamish, says Carl. I believe so, but it's actually all of the games are free on the TAB to watch. I believe, or at least 90% of them, which is quite cool. It's just you have to watch it on a smaller screen. Whereas the Brumbies, that versus the Blues last week, says Champagne Lord. It's a very good question. Although now it looks like it's just about to start firing. Lachlan Lonergan, just short of the line. They've done brilliantly there, Moana Pasifika, to be able to stop that momentum. As they now charged once again. Just came out. A platformer. You get to play as a boxing kangaroo. I swear I'm getting it. That's close. Did Jerome Brown get it down? I think his foot might have been in touch. But they will be checking it. Do you know how much it is in New Zealand dollars, Sebastian? Even though you're from Romania, so you probably wouldn't. I should probably look that up instead. Just because it would be... Okay, it's $30 US on Steam. But I'm not sure about on Xbox. I have to investigate. Oh, it's been pushed out of his hand. So because of it, does actually mean not only will it not be a try, but also it won't be their ball. And also it will be nice for a live commentary for NBA from you, says Carl there. I would quite like to in the future. I think I just need to learn more about the NBA. Because I'm pretty green when it comes to how it works. Or not really how it works. Like I know the rules of basketball, but I just don't know many of the players. Makes it a bit tricky, but who knows, maybe in the future we will be able to get it going. And you think South Africa can sneak past Argentina, Rugby 7 Hamish? I want to say yes, but from what I've seen recently from South Africa, I'd have to almost say no, but I want to say yes at the same time, if that makes sense. Canada have just scored against France in the first 7 seconds of that game. And also New Zealand 24 against Australia 19 in there, and NBA playoffs have been lackluster this year, says Lax Axel, and also the try, says Louis, and also we have got the up the Brumbies, says Chad there, and also Brumbies will lose, looking the way they are going. Although that's the thing, it only takes one moment in a game of rugby to turn it around, and that might be what the Brumbies have just done, and it looks like Lachlan Lonergan, was it? Lachlan Lonergan scores, ladies and gentlemen, so they have just got themselves the try back. It was kind of freezing a little bit for me, but Lachlan Lonergan, he's scored again, and he's been able to get him one in the 57th. I don't think I'll ever try and rhyme with Lonergan again. It just doesn't really work, does it? Doesn't quite have that ring to it. And also we have got there, is it missing LeBron? And as last says, it was Carl. A nice rolling ball here for the Brumbies, only 5 meters out from the line. I've done way too much talking over the past couple of weeks. I think whenever I have a spell, like it's probably going to be in like 3 weeks' time, my voice will get well and truly rested and can Brumbies come back? I think so. They have just been able to get themselves another, which does give them a good chance. And also in the London 7 says MH Joy, well, they won. And also we've got the New Zealand Moana, Kia kaha, and the voice crack says Carl. And also we've got there's going to be James Bond, Aotearoa, about a Maori soldier who fires panties. Fired panties to destroy UK? Panties? And also we got there, you're not watching Ja Morant playing. If it's last day, and also, sorry, Mum. There's Louis there as well. But now it will be Noah Lalicio. Already on it, Carl. There we go. That will hopefully end up sticking around for the rest of this match now. And I was like, 2 Kiwis help England in the cricket. One coach, one captain, good A. And James Bond and Aotearoa are going to be out. And also, it's not LeBron, it's Legon. And come on, why don't let them take this? And also, we have got there, sorry, Mum, and also that woman in the crowd screaming with the food in her mouth. And also, we have got there, what did you just call? Says Louis. Oh, sorry, that was Paddy, in fact, to Louis. Now sitting 22 metres out from their own line here, the Brumbies, Noah Lalicio, back to Tom Wright. He ended up getting quite hardly tackled. And Moana Pasifika Kia. And as I says Ezra. Now, the Brumbies, they're only 5 points behind, so all it takes is one more converted try, and they get themselves a lead in this match, but it's going to be almost charged down from Jonathan Tamatine. Goes into touch. And I'm just going to have a quick look to see what the odds are sitting at now for this game. With the Brumbies scoring that try, though, I would think that will boost them quite nicely They are $2 underdogs compared to the $1.72 of Moana Pasifika. So it's almost a pick 'em and choose 'em game at this point in time. And also, sorry, mate, says Louis there as well. And now Finney Anisi will be going off the field, or on the field, in fact, and that is Danny Tuala making his way off now. Rainuia. Oh, that's not very straight. But they say it's all right. And now Christian Liliafano has been able to clean it up. Jonathan Samatsine now goes short to Henry Time Stowers. In fact, it was Joe Apakatoa Rainuia. Short pop pass now to Time Stowers. Timatene goes back. Solomoni Funaki, relatively quiet with the running that we're seeing from him. Same with Alamanda Matanga, but now wide pass. Out to Tavatava now wide. Just goes straight over the top of Tom Wright. And he's been able to hang on to the ankle very nicely. They'll run way too old. And the Lakers have washed it up. And are you covering the Champions League final? I certainly am. We are going to have that game between La Rochelle and also Leinster that is coming up in the middle of the night. And also, Nail, good Hamish, best commentary better than Justin Marshall. And this says Nathan. Appreciate it. Although saying that, that's the thing. I've heard more people say they don't like Justin Marshall than they do like Justin Marshall, which seems unfortunate for Justin Marshall, I guess you could say. But now, inside of the 22, 10 phases in, and sprint fit, anyone know what that is? I do. Sprint fit? Is that like running really fast and then stopping and then running really fast again? Is that kind of like interval training? Probably not. And anyone is better than him, says Paddy. So, now Liliafano once again trying to step through. Oh, hanging on to it. Tamatine. I was about Justin Marshall was a legend, says Kawasi there. See, it seems to be that some people like him, some people hate him. But either way, the man knows his stuff. He has got a huge amount of rugby knowledge. That's going to be now Moana Pasifika. Search it up, Hamish. There's 5 points difference. It certainly hasn't last called. Anything may happen with the next 20 minutes in the match. Right, what am I searching? Sprint fit. Anyone know what that is? I do. Quality supplements? You doing drugs? Muscle fitness supplements, I assume they are. And then also Moana going to choke this game, says Carl, although it looks like they are going to be going for a possible 3-pointer now. Just to get them back out to 8 points in the later morning, evening. But hungover today, says Flesh. And welcome, mate. I hope you aren't feeling too bad overall. And yeah, I hope you are excited for next week URC. Who are the teams that you're picking to be able to go through in that competition? Also, we have got the Hay Whey Protein. Is that hate or have? Something along those lines, I think. It was a good commentary, good player, but his commentary just sucks. I mean, I guess some people would say for myself that my playing would suck. And I don't know what they say about the commentary. Also, we have got the laughing face from Louis, and also now the quick tap taken. Actually, that's a lie because I'm watching the sevens. It is currently 25 points to 17. Moana Pasifika have got themselves the advantage. So Lachlan Lonergan, he's going to be important in the later stages of this game. I'm still holding that tripod, ladies and gentlemen, that I won by guessing 5 Sesame Street characters. So I guess that's commitment. I might put it down now. Don't really need it. There we go. Down on the floor. The cat will have that one. Now, looks like Jordan Sefo trying to run down the wing in France versus Canada. And funniest ever, Justin Marshall, when he said Barrett would never catch the Aussie winger on the runaway, and Barrett cut him with down 1 metre from the try line. This is Justin to eat the humble pie, as I says, John. And also, I ordered a 2.27 kg of whey protein. I finished my other one. And I also packed the F Up Pacifica if you want to get it. And also, we have got there, I hate whey protein. And also, I can't look past Leinster. So there's Flesh. And yeah, they're just good, aren't they? Like, it's one of those ones that no matter what, like Leinster are just that side that everyone in the Northern Hemisphere looks at and goes, I don't really want to have to play them in a playoff. Although, saying that, La Rochelle, one team who were able to beat them in the Champions Cup last year, now they find themselves in the final against them. And I was like, yeah, Leinster won't lose in Dublin. It won't happen. Says Sebastian there. And I believe they'll have home finals all the way through, won't they? Due to them finishing first. Now, inside of their own 22, Moana Pasifika under pressure. Ikatel off the field, and that is Lawson Crichton now making his way out there. But we are 64 minutes through this match, And your commentary is good, says Chad. Do appreciate you, mate. And we have got plenty more coming tonight. That's the thing. We've already done, this is our second match. But after this one, we have got the match between the Blues and the Waratahs. And then after that one, we've got Hurricanes versus Western Force. Then after that one, we've got another match that is going to be Leinster taking on La Rochelle. And we may even have some sevens scattered throughout there in the gaps that we do yet as well. Now, it's going to be taken nicely 5 meters out from their own line. Moana Pasifika, this uses up a little bit more time on the clock, which they won't be too mad about. I want to think and also, yes, if you finish it first or finish them first, you're awarded home advantage for your entire playoffs campaign. So, yeah, unless they somehow lose one of their playoffs, they have got themselves, I guess, a golden ticket to just rock the Aviva week in, week out. And good luck to the Brumbies. Oi, oi. Come back, you should. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. ITR bros. ITR bros. What does ITR stand for? Louis, do let me know. I'm not very hip at the moment. I don't know all of the cool sayings and anagrams and whatnot. But now driving forward once again here for the Brumbies. I'm looking around for Lachlan Lonergan because I feel like he is one of those super subs that just normally has a massive impact in a game of rugby. Looked like it was going to be stolen. Oh, little bit of a juggle there from Ryan Lonergan, but it went backwards, they have said. Now Nick Frost round the side. The big man's picked up and put back down safely. Of course, you're not allowed to pick him up too ruthlessly. Oh, it's dropped. It's a loose ball by Sasefo Kautai. And Moana need 2 more tries to win. And also Liliafano, this man is magic for Moana Pasifika, says MH Choi. And it's just huge having that extra advantage in terms of experience on your side. And later, bros. I understand now. Okay, sorry. I'm a bit too unhip. But yeah, hope you do enjoy the rest of your night, Louis. Currently now 14 minutes left. At the moment, 8 points different. And also we have got, they don't know how many of their games will be at the Aviva, maybe the final. But I know the quarterfinal against Glasgow is our RDS. So they actually have it scattered throughout Ireland rather than just at the Aviva. Smart a little bit, I guess you could say, just so that they can kind of ship it around a bit. And also we have got the LTRs later, and the Hurricanes game decides multiple teams' fates, right? It certainly does. If the Hurricanes beat the Western Force, that confirms that the Highlanders are going to be in the top 8. And also it does mean that the Hurricanes will be able to get themselves sitting nicely in a possible 5th, depending on how the result goes for the matchup between the Waratahs and the Blues. That one, and also, to be honest, Hamish, are there any team good enough to take on the Flying Blues? At the moment, I can't see any, says Spider-Meat. I think a couple of the New Zealand sides can trouble them, to be honest, because at the moment for the Blues, they've got a stack of talent, but they've also got a stack of injuries starting to pop through. I know that they're missing Caleb Clark. They're missing Rico Ioane. I don't know whether or not those two are going to be injured for the finals matches. But having those guys out is 2 real keys in your backline that you might be losing. And they play most of their games at the RDS this season. Aviva is for selective games. And listening to an interview with an ex-Leinster player, and he was asked about the salary cap. He said, what cap? And also we've got the Hurricanes could go down to 6th. CSX there. And also we've got their 7th tournament predictions. And the rest of Brumbies can take on the Blues. There's Kawasi there. And also being to Glasgow and Edinburgh, I liked Edinburgh better. See, it looks like such a nice ground. Like anywhere in the Northern Hemisphere, it just looks like such an awesome atmosphere. And also, we've got the Hurricanes could go down to 6, CSX. And yeah, they certainly could, depending on how it sits. And Waratahs wins and Canes lose. Might make them play the Chiefs or the Brumbies, right? Depending on if the Brumbies win. That is very true. So whoever wins, it's pretty much, we know that it's Brumbies and Chiefs. And they will be taking on either the Waratahs or the Hurricanes. Those are the 4. And less likely to get stabbed in Edinburgh. There you go. That is always a bonus. Kick downfield. Now the Brumbies hanging on to this ball. Driving hard at the line. Muirhead tries to go straight through a gap that did kind of close itself pretty quickly. It wasn't quite able to go through. Like they're saying, how much do the Brumbies have left in the tank here to try and get themselves one last moment? And also, what's your prediction on the 7th tournament? I think Fiji versus Samoa final is my fingers crossed option. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Hopefully we at least get to see that matchup before the end, just because I love watching those 2 sides play. Ryan Lonergan round the side. Now trying to get in that breakdown. Oh, it's going to be the penalty advantage now. And that is risky for them. Now Lachlan Lonergan is able to clean it up. And also, while Brumbies making mistakes and Glasgow don't write them off, they're better than Munster. There's Ezra there. Now, nice pass off to Tom Wright and also the Inverness. Inverness, hopefully I said that correctly as well. Never saw a single Loch Ness Monster. What happened there? Oh, no. Solomon Kate is a bit of a, I guess, a little bit of an undershadow there. Because Ryan Lonergan has tried to take the quick tap, and he has now dropped the ball. Go Moana Pasifika, says Tauloli. Hopefully I've said that correctly. He's just put it down, and that is a massive mistake for the Brumbies with the slippery hands. And also we have got there, if the Brumbies get the losing bonus point, that would mean that they are equal to the Chiefs. Then doesn't it come down to the points difference? Says Hex there. So one moment we will go like this, and we will go like this. So currently the Chiefs, they are sitting on 45. And yeah, like you mentioned, it's going to be, if the Brumbies win by or lose by less than 4, I think it is, then it will come down to points differential. So there's still everything to play for these two sides. But like they're saying, at 9:45 p.m., the kickoff for Waratahs versus Blues going to be getting underway. And also we have got there the best 5 rugby clubs in the world are number 1 Leinster, 2 Clermont, 3 Hurricanes, 4 Blues, and 5 Saracens. Says Ezra. Interesting. I mean, there's a few interesting-ish choices in there. I guess it just depends on the sides that you support as well, though. Because I know a lot of people would have the Crusaders in there somewhere, seeing as they've won so many titles in recent years. You'd also probably maybe Toulouse get themselves up there over maybe Clermont because of the fact that they have been able to get through quite a few Champions Cup games and also won the top 14 last year. And also, Amish, will you be streaming the Blues versus Waratahs match? I certainly will be. And it will be coming up in a very short moment. 9:45 p.m. is when that one will be starting. So nearly every game this round has something to play for. Exactly right. And the Chiefs, they almost lost the opportunity of being able to get themselves to third if they had ended up losing to the Fijian draw. And also Clermont have Fafana best player, former scrum Morgan Parra. I mean, he's very good. But then that same argument could be used for Toulouse, have Antoine Dupont, the player of the year last year. You know, so it's a tricky one. And also, I imagine if a South African saw Ezra's list, there's says Sebastian, and also better play better. And there says Ezra, and also Crusaders are best, and I support the Canes, says John. I travelled a bit, but never been up to the road or the road to Scotland yet. And this round is so exciting, says Hex. It certainly is. And are you doing commentary tomorrow? I certainly am. And that will be the matchup taking place between the Rebels and the Highlanders, and then also all of the other games taking place for the Sevens. We will be covering as many as we can on the channel tomorrow night. And also, it will be nice to see Moana win to end their season on a high, says Anrin. Yeah, at the moment, they've got an 8-point advantage for themselves. It looks like now will be Sione Tuipulotu making his way out onto the field. Actually selected for Tonga's side in the upcoming little while for the Pacific Nations Cup. At the moment, Canada are leading over France 14 points to 12, ladies and gentlemen, in the sevens. And also, we've got there right. I got to go Moana. I'll be back for the Blues games. And Leinster, I got nothing on the Crusaders, says Nathan there as well. And now Hooper passes it back. Pete Samu gets some leg drive going. 10 minutes left on the clock here between these two sides. Lonergan goes short side. Now big run from Cater and Neville, who's only just made his way back out onto the field for this matchup. Now Ryan Lonergan goes off. I believe that was Rory Scott having the carry there. And also the Brumbies lose with a bonus. Do they still get number 3 or move down to 4th, says Fapai? It depends on whether or not they do lose by more than 5, I believe it is. If it's less than 5, they will keep 3rd. If it's more than 5, like if it was sitting the way that we are currently sitting, it would mean that they would end up in 4th and take on the winner of pretty much Hurricanes or the Waratahs, their games. They have got coming up. Currently only a couple meters out from the line, hanging on to this one nicely. Now Ryan Lonergan pop pass up to Lachlan Lonergan, and also we have got that. So mate, let's flip and go. And in fairness to Central Scotland is where the famous Loch Ness is. And now it's a nice tackle made, and a lethal one and a crucial one for Levi Amua. And it becomes a penalty to the Brumbies. They weren't quite on the mark. Currently, the Brumbies really trying to get going. And also we have got there, and at the chat as well, we have got, I want to see the Tars beat the Brumbies. And also we've got their Blues will be at the top right, even if they lose. That is exactly right. And also in fairness, in fairness. Oh, I thought that was in fairness rather than Inverness. Sorry about that. Got that around the wrong way. I want to see the Tars beat the Brums. And also we have got there, is in the north of Scotland, mate. There's Scotland. Or says Sebastian. I'm having a shocker with this Scottish stuff at the moment. And also I have the Brumbies play the Tars. Yes, yeah, that will be an exciting one. To be able to see how it does end up going. But now Lachlan Lonergan collecting that one for them. Cadron Neville. In fact, it's Nick Frost. He's had a pretty good season. He started absolutely brilliantly. They have said leave him now. He was able to just roll away in time. They have 8 minutes to be able to get themselves a few. This game is insane, says Kawasi. It is. And it's pretty much backing up what we saw in that Chiefs versus Fiji and Drua game of just craziness happening in the final moments. Now Sasefo Kautai, 5 meters out from the line. North is Aberdeen. And that's the one that's quite fun to say in a Scottish accent, isn't it? I can't say it now. I used to be Aberdeen. Aberdeen. Not really Scottish, is it? But now it's stolen by Moana Pasifika, kicking it all the way down to Aberdeen. And now it looks like a 50-22. It's killed, and it's going to be a 50-22. Absolutely insane from Moana Pasifika there. And also, we're going to what happened to Patrick for the Blues. And there it was actually, he's gone to Japan for a season. So that is why we haven't really seen him too much for this year. Same with Gerard Kelly, Tuioti for the Blues. So they actually lost quite a few of their locks, which is why they did end up signing Luke Romano as the cover. And yes, and there says Tama Soali'i. And also 8 minutes to go, time running out for the Brumbies, unless a double score, says Imo Shoy. And this might have just secured it for Moana Pasifika. That is an absolutely brilliant banana kick from Christian Laliafano. And Andy Muirhead, he knew that he had to try and get it, and he just wasn't able to. And the worst thing is it smacked him in the face in the process. Brother, check them out. Inverness is more northern than Aberdeen. And then also we have got that, I think, Moana Pasifika win this. That is the game. And the one also we got there, speaking of 50-22, Chiefs were doing that against the Drua. They were. And they got it right a couple of times. Rame Kapoya be doing very nicely for himself. And now Tava Nawai off the field, and that is going to be for Anzilo Tuitavuki. Does make his way out there. And also, is this an upset if Moana Pasifika win? Definitely. They were $9 underdogs at the start of this game. And the Brumbies, it was almost a given that they were going to be able to win it for most people. So with them being able to do very nicely here, or with the Moana Pasifika side doing very nicely, I should say, that is what has really impressed this home crowd at Mount Smart Stadium. I've seen one comeback with a double score. Let's see if it happens again. Here's Hay plays there. And that is going to be a good Brumbies defence there. See if I'll take a word for it. And there's us, there's John about Aberdeen as well. What other fun Scottish names are there that you can say? Glasgow? No, Glasgow's not quite as fun, is it? Yeah, I'm just quickly going to go like this as well. And that shows you the table. The reason I show this table is because Moana Pasifika, they will be able to close that gap just a little bit more with the Fiji and Drua. If they do end up winning this game, the Fiji and Drua, they are actually currently on 12 points, whereas Moana Pasifika, they win this game, they will move themselves up to 10, so not a bad finish the other season. But of course, they still have to win this game from here, and only went to Scotland once. And also, well, that was a surprise win, although it's not over yet. Still another 6 minutes left in the beautiful town of John O'Gretz. Hopefully I said that correctly. And also, damn, this is insane. And Peterhead is a fun name. And also, Moana Pasifika finished off the inaugural season with a win. Would be huge if they can hold on, says Sammy Sosa. And also, not a Brumbies tonight, or Brumbies night tonight. And yeah, does mean that if they get themselves one try very soon, they theoretically should still have third. But it depends if Moana Pasifika get themselves any more points in this one. My voice does sound like I've turned into a teenager again, doesn't it? Here we go. Hopefully it's going to be hanging around for the rest of the day. We have still got another 3 full-length matches that we are doing. And also, do the Chiefs actually have 41 points? CSX there. No, they have more than that. They're actually on 45 now. As that was taken just before wee lad William Wallace. And then this is brilliant. Says Brio game, I believe, in Moana Pasifika as the second half started. It has indeed. We are up to 74 minutes through. A lot of pressure there. The ball is loose. Ryan Lonergan has to jump on it, but that was all but stolen by Moana Pasifika. And I believe that will now be a 5-meter scrum. Vikago was a fun name for a town. And there as well says Fleshton. I think Levi Amua thinks he's got this one, but he doesn't. It is going to be a 5-meter scrum. And do you speak German, Hamish? I do not. I did have the option of German at school, I think it was, for primary school. That's short side, close, bouncing over. It's a try for Moana Pasifika, and that will now, I believe, be the icing on the cake for them. And that is absolutely huge for Moana Pasifika here. And the crowd have just absolutely erupted for that one. Grey Hands and Loto Inisi on debut has been able to score the try in the 75th minute. And this is huge for Moana Pasifika. They were underdogs heading into this game, and they are going to be able to get themselves a win as the quarterfinals decided. With this one, it does mean that the Brumbies will be taking on either the Waratahs or the Hurricanes, and same with the Chiefs now, but they haven't quite decided all of them. The Reds versus Crusaders is the only one that we know for a definite is taking place, and also game over, says Kwasi there. And also the Isle of Skye in northwestern Scotland is a pretty place. We'll have to go there some days, says Sebastian, and bloody brilliant. It says it was Rio. And also we have got there Moana CSX, and also, yeah, bro, huge, says Tamaswali'i. And there's, but at the moment, Moana Pasifika, their bench is dancing all the way to the bank here. They know that this is a massive game to be able to cause an upset, and that puts a little bit of doubt in the mind of the Brumbies for their next week's fixture. But one thing is for sure, Moana Pasifika, they are winning this game. They were $15 underdogs when Sekope Kepu ended up with his red card. They were $9 underdogs at the start of this match, and they have done pretty well. I wonder whether or not betting is still available for this one to see what the Brumbies are paying now. They need this kick to go over, though. That is going to be the big one. Brumbies are now $41 underdogs. If this kick goes over from Christian Leleafano, which it does, they have now got themselves a 15-point lead, and there is no chance of a comeback now for the Brumbies, the coup de grace. And also we have got, I'll probably spelled it wrong, I've been to Germany as well. And also we have got their coup de grace, which is the death blow. And this is David the Mold and the Brumbies picked quite a strong side, didn't they? They had everyone in their side apart from, I guess you'd say, Pete Samu. No, sorry, not Pete Samu, Rob Valentini. Everyone else was their strong side. And also, I should have put my whole wins benefit on Moana. Bugger, says Nazi Williams. But yeah, I thought they'd be paying more than $9 at the start of the match, but it just seemed like it was going to be a lot closer. They've just said who would have picked this. I mean, if you chat with myself, or not really myself, but if you asked my dad who I said was going to win this game before the match took place, I might have mentioned a little bit something about Moana. I don't think it would be by 15 points, though. I was thinking like 5 or 3, something like that. That one's gone into touch, but it's a little knock on. And the scrum feed now for the Brumbies, and game is done and dusted. Happy for Moana, tough season. And Brumbies going to go down to 4th. And there's they certainly will. And also we have got there in the chat top 4 Kiwi teams. And also we have got in the chat 1 minute to celebrate underdog newbies Moana Pasifika victory. And good call, Hamish. Well done, matey. Says it was David the Mod. And also, to be honest, I'm shocked me and my mates laughed at the pub. The Brumbies should easily win. Says it was Hay Place. And also, if the top 4 make it to the semis, will the Brumbies play the Blues? Ooh, maybe. Not too sure how it sits. Yeah, I had a multi on the Brumbies. Would have won 600, says Brent. So that's a brutal one. That one, and also we have got their flew into Hanover. And also we got the Moana will finish strong with that win in a few minutes, surely. And also they only win in this jersey, says Dwayne. Actually, yeah, is it the culture kit, that one that they've got? At the moment now, it's going to be a big push. The Brumbies want to get themselves 1 try, but it won't actually change the result. All the points of this game. Wow, that was a big shot on Andy Muirhead's knees. And he has gone down. That's the thing. When you chop down a tree, it's not going to be able to keep on standing normally. That's what happened to Andy Muirhead's thighs. He just got sliced out. Well done, Pacifica boys. You've done our Island Nation proud. And then also we have got the I picked 13 plus. Just not for Moana. Yes, good call, Hamish. Says John there, and also Leleafano the goal. I did put $10 Moana Pasifika, says A play. So you would have probably made quite a bit of money. In that case, with all the COVID rearranged games, I think Moana have had a good start to life here. Like at the end of the day, they have had many games where they play 3 in the same week, which is very tough on the body, very taxing. That one's gone into touch from Tom Banks. And they are just talking about the fact that even if they do get themselves a try now, they will still relinquish 3rd place on the double. Let's go Moana Pasifika. And this is Alex Samoa. So yeah, very impressive performance from them here And also Samoa, I should mention, only playing in about an hour and 44 minutes time, which is going to be an exciting one. Who is winning, says RP at the moment? Moana Pasifika. They have got one last play in this match. Lachlan Lonergan, though, he has got this ball at the back, and it looks like the rolling maul for the Brumbies might just be starting once again. They have been told to use it once. Now he breaks off the back, Lachlan Lonergan. Getting within the 5 meters, and also 145 here, only 17 likes and subscribed. And there, yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out our Kiwi Sport channel. It is our other channel. And also, while the ref call advantage, read the room. It says Lex Axel. And also, Moana Pasifika is winning. They certainly are. Now around the side once again, who will be able to get themselves over the line? It looks like Lachlan Lonergan wants this one. Nope, he decides to join the breakdown instead, gives it off to Darcy Swain. Now backline movement. It's another penalty advantage. They'll be going back for it. And also agreed, Alex, says MH Joy there as well. But yeah, anyone who hasn't already, be sure to check out their Kiwi Sport channel. We have got plenty more videos coming up on that one, including things to do with the semi-finals, the quarterfinals, the final, everything we will have on there as well. But currently, South Africa have scored themselves their second try up against Argentina, ladies and gentlemen, which gives them a 12 points to 7 lead. And Christian is a legend, bro. And yeah, as I said, Johnny certainly is, and also GT to both teams. So here's Nathan there. Yeah, it was a good old matchup by Moana Pasifika. They are looking to close it out with not just a win, but a win by 15, which would be absolutely huge for them in a tough game. And also, thanks, bro. Looking forward to the next one, says Tamalosi. And there as well. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong name. That was actually Tama Soali'i. And there, but yeah, the next one is going to be coming up at 9:45, and we will be starting, as it true, as Ralph Lau is joining Tonga's PNC squad. He certainly is, which does mean it's going to be a big signing for them. Same with Charles Piatal. And also, alongside that, it is also, who is it? The last guy. Malakai Fikatoa. And there, like, subscribe to my boy Kiwi Lad, Malolova. Also for the commentary, and Chahu, Moana Pasifika, says Bella, and also as a full-time yet. They are still going. They had the advantage. And now they are over. And it is a try. Pete Samu gets the final moment in this matchup. So at the end of the day, the Brumbies, they did get themselves one late one, but Pete Samu uses his size and his strength, but it's too little too late. That does not take away from the fact that Moana Pasifika have been able to get themselves the try there. Or the win, I should say, huge upset and one of the most satisfying. And also Moana Polynesia Siki game for the Uso boys and Piato in there, says Nazi. Yeah, so he's going to be a big one for them in the signing, and also biggest upset I've seen. Here's how he plays there. And also we have got their things, bro. Looking forward to the next one. So yeah, that one is going to be taking place at 9:45 p.m. New Zealand time. And please stream Blues vs Waratahs. We are indeed going to be transferring over to their live stream straight after, in about 40 minutes time. We are going to be live on the channel, so be sure to check it out. And also, we have got there, if you pinch your nose and talk, you will sound like Malakai Fikatoa does. And there's Johnny Long and Strong and Hard Bro, legend. And there's says Nathan, and also good one, boys. And also Charles and Malakai, those guys. And there is a problem, or this is a problem, no phantom. This is a real Moana Pasifika power. And there, or miles per second power, maybe? I assume it's Moana Pasifika, but now the kick is coming up here. And Ryan Lonergan just trying to line up this last kick to get them an extra 2 points on the board. And thank you both teams. Says Walter there, and also we look there. Well done, Moana Pasifika. Says MH Joy now. Lonergan strikes. Lonergan, he's got a decent amount on that one. Misses away to the side, didn't hit in the post, but that is the end of the match. And Moana Pasifika get themselves the win up against the Brumbies. A nice try, says Jaden. Also, and to be fair, Moana does have the best club badge in Super Rugby, says Flesh, and also, okay, good. And there as well, says Nazi Williams. But the next game will be the Blues taking on the Waratahs. That's going to be absolutely massive. And also, we have got the Hamish, says Olivia there. And also, we have got the I, says Ellie. Welcome in, everyone. Hope you are all doing well. And also, Moana Pasifika. And as I says, Johnny Long and Strong. I have no idea what the rest of that says, but I assume it's good job, possibly. And also, we get the, do you think Liliafano is eligible to play for the Manu? Oh, he must be close, because he's been there for a little while, hasn't he? And also, thanks for the commentary, mate, says James. No worries at all. But yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport channel as well. Nonetheless, I will see you all for the next